Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is part 1 of our story. If you like this what if story and want to see part 2, let me know in the comments below. Before we start, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with your friends. Also, check the description for more great content and my playlist. This story was posted by 𝗬𝗵𝗲𝗔𝗂𝘁𝗵𝐵𝗀 on Wattpad. Now let's start. Text. In universe speak and think text. Outside universe narrate and character speak and think Jack Phillips thought his notes. This one is good alright everyone enjoy, Jack said and then left one. Oh, I can wait see Midoriya in different universe, Hacker said excitedly Mina replied. I know the possibilities are endless, Kirishima said. Sure the universe is starting Mina replied a bit quietly, sorry. Uraraka said, hey it's Deku Deku respond, oh good morning Todoroki. Todoroki took one look and Deku and lost control of his powers and was up in flames. 𝗵𝗃𝗲𝗄 said, wait half and half is a girl. Todoroki was shocked to see him as girl in this universe 5 Deku and Uraraka yelled, Todoroki / Deku-chan. Later at lunch Momo and Todoroki were eating together until Momo noticed Todoroki was picking at his food deep in thought and Momo asked, is everything alright Todoroki-san? Todoroki stopped thinking and replied, oh, yeah just have something on my mind, Momo replied, oh would talking about it help, Todoroki said, this morning I lost control over my powers. 1 minute Midoriya is saying hello and the next thing I'm up in flames. I don't know why it happened and this isn't the first time either. Last time it happened I was studying with Midoriya and before that it was during the hero training when Midoriya and I went up against Bakugo and Kirishima. Whoa Todoroki you spoke just as much as Deku does, Uraraka said. Yeah no kidding, Deku continued. From the looks of it Todoroki has crushed Deku from the hero training we did, said Kirishima, and I was Bakugo's partner. To perfectly honest be a lot better than Ida. Bakugo thought Todoroki said, what's more is that I get this sick feeling every time with Midoriya. My heart keeps beating really fast and dash. Momo interrupted and said, sounds like you have a crush on Midoriya-kun. A crush? Todoroki said complete confused. Mirio what a crush. Eri asked, well maybe this version of Deku might say what is. Mirio said Mina came out of nowhere and said, no way Todoroki-chan has a crush. Ashido, Momo said clearly, no way really who it is. Hagekure said also coming out of nowhere Todoroki said, what's a crush? The whole theater went silent. Momo, Mina and Hagekure threw, dear God she's serious, Mina said. Hagekure initiate Operation Gamma Black Wing Glitter Alpha. Is that really thing you have? Todoroki asked. Mina said, no. 25 Hagekure replied, already on it Mina. Is Operation Gamma Black Wing Glitter Alpha really necessary? That seems a little extreme don't you think? Momo asked. Mina point her hand to Todoroki and Momo respond, oh right. Blyma said, so. We got your text. Jiro asked, who's the target? Our resident ice queen she has a crush and is in desperate need of out help. Mina said, no kidding she needs your help. Kirishima said, you still haven't told me what a crush is. Todoroki said, is this about Todoroki-chan crush on Midoriya? Said Tsuyu. Uraraka said, wow Tsuyu already knew. Tsuyu replied, I guess I did. What you knew Mina yelled Rib. Tsuyu replied, what about me? Deku said. Uraraka said in surprised, Deku. And Ida too. Ida respond, Uraraka is everything alright? You left the table in a hurry? One. Did something bad happen how can we help? Said Deku. He mean everything's fine. I was justum. Uraraka said nervously, we want to try a new super combo I came up with. Mina lied, yeah that. Uraraka said, do you know to practice for when we're pros? Mina lied again. I see actually that's not a bad idea teaming up with others is a fundamental part of being a hero. Ida said calmly, Ida has a valid point. There are many pro-hero teams that have special move sets that boost their overall performance in battle. Momo said, ain't that the truth? Hey, why don't we all work on combos then maybe we'll be better prepared for the next time Mr. Aizawa randomly pairs us up. Jiro said, that sounds like so much fun we can even invite 1B. Hagekure said excitedly, une idée magnifique. Aoyama said. Deku stated to think when Todoroki said, Midoriya? Deku said, Todoroki. Todoroki asked, do you know what a crush is? Yuri joking right? Asked Deku. No why would I be? Todoroki answered, oh 𝗬𝗵𝗲 a crush is when you have aromantic feelings towards someone your chest is. Constantly pounding 𝗔𝗂𝘁𝗵𝗆, always on your mind when you see them. It's like the world disappeared and all that's left is you two and you always want to be with them. Sound that basically a crush? Deku muttered. Deku still talks a lot in this universe. Uraraka started laughing. Eri said, so that's a crush. Och, I guess I do have a crush, said Todoroki. Said Deku, that's the bell. Better start heading back to class. Oh, and thank Midoriya, your explanation really helped, said Todoroki. Deku should have a girlfriend if he knows that much about romance. Kirishima said. Jiro replied, I bet one of the girls likes Deku, which caused Uraraka to blush madly for, yeah, happy to help. Deku said. Deku stared to entirely scream on the inside because he doesn't know it's him. Blah 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 romance blah blah blah, just Todoroki saw as a girl blah blah blah, what is this life blah blah blah, I'm try to say blah 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 so it looks say something blah blah blah. Deku muttered. Jack came back and said, Deku. Daxi has stopped working. Zero said, dude, he's been like that since lunch, I wonder what happened. Kaminari replied, IDK, but he's starting to creep me out. Apparently Todoroki let it slip she has crushed to Midoriya's face. Now he thinks he's been friend-zoned. Kirishima said. Coming out the shower. Kaminari just said, ouch. Kaminari said ouch at the same time as him. That universe. Uraraka said, never a good thing to be in the friend zone with some you like, too. Wait. How do you know this? Kaminari said, Ashido. Kirishima replied, oh. Kaminari replied back too. All three boy looked stared at Deku and said with huge grins on their faces, let's help him out. Oh, who am I kidding? There's no way I have a shot with her as a friend. I should be happy for not jealous, right? Deku said. Kirishima yelled behind Deku. Midoriya? Kaminari said, landing on Deku. Though, Uraraka said, is very nice for you three to help Deku out with Todoroki. Are kidding Uraraka, I will always help out. Anyone who needs help, Kirishima replied. Jiro said, I don't how Kaminari can help. Oh, come on, Kaminari said as he randomly hugged Jiro. The quickly looked away blushing too. Oof. Deku said, Kirishima. And Kaminari and Zero too. Deku continued. Kaminari replied, hey man. Sorry about that, we tried calling you for like 5 minutes but, Deku interrupted and, no I understand, I got lost in thought again. Kirishima said, So, what do you need? Deku asked. Kaminari said, Kirishima and Kaminari said, oh yeah. We heard about what happened between you Todoroki and as the class resident of Casanova and Hades dash. Kaminari said. Jiro said, that is bald face lie and you know it. Yeah, in this universe maybe but not in that one. Kaminari said, beside I already have a girl in mind unlike a certain someone. Kaminari continued, you know, Deku said, clearly surprised. We have decided to help you get you Ice Queen. Kaminari continued, wait, how do you know all this? Deku said, Ashido. Kirishima replied, oh. Deku replied back, look, I'm happy that you want to help but I'm fine as long as she's happy I'm fine. Deku said, no thinking like that, you must have a confidence. Kaminari said, alright men, let's go raise Midoriya's confidence. Kaminari ordered. Kirishima and Zero saluted and said, yes sir. Kaminari yelled, onward. Deku yelled back, what? Guys wait, hold on. Aizawa said, I don't get paid enough for this. Aizawa said in response, I feel like that almost every day. Uraraka said, you mean you don't get paid enough? Aizawa replied, yep. Are you crazy? What compelled you to do that? Yelled Mina. Well, it is kinda our fault too, we got distracted, she didn't know. Hagakure said, ugh I know but this is too frustrating. Mina said, get frustrated? I'm confused, did I do something wrong? Todoroki said, no Ernest, really you were just a little blunt with your approach, especially since it's Midoriya we're dealing with. Momo said, oh. I didn't know, I've never had the best examples of love growing up so I've always assumed. Todoroki said. All the girls yelled, must protect. Bakugo said, the hell does that mean must protect? What does she need protecting from? A bad date with young Midoriya maybe? All might suggest. Bakugo said, well just forget I said anything. Don't worry girl, we got your back, you'll have a date with Mito before I know it. Mina said, is Mito a cute nickname for Deku? Uraraka asked. Mina replied, I think it is. And only I would come up with a name like that. Thank guys, Todoroki said. Mina said, okay girls, let begin. What to Deku and where did you even get the whiteboard and everything else for that matter? Todoroki asked, what to Deku and where did you even get the whiteboard and everything else for that matter? Todoroki asked, not important now, does anyone have any ideas? Mina said, Uraraka. Mina said, how about a date to that new hero exhibition Deku loves all things heroes, 𝗬𝗏𝗧𝗏 suggested, or to see the new All Might movie, 𝐒𝐬𝐼 suggested. Wow, All Might has a movie in the universe, 𝗵𝗃𝗲 said. Yes, actually you see the comics of him became then just one-issue stories and you would have to read the next issue to find out what happened next, and after a 10 or 5-issue arc of All Might's story, All Might saves the day and someone who read the comics own a movie studio and took the most important part of the comics arc and wrote a scripted around the parts he chose and started to film a movie around it, Jack said. And my God, were they good, even the one when he obliterated an F5 tornado with a round of applause, or when was the filling for a planet sandwich, or held a mini black hole in his hand, oh, or the time he dragged the frickin' Earth around, also the time when took 15 supernovas to the face, Jack continued. Deku said, I don't remember that being in the comics. Oh, right, yeah, sorry, I have a collection of comic book arcs based off the movies, and that is the modern All Might, and to be honest it's probably for the best because classic All Might could make up new superpowers on the fly and destroy entire solar systems by sneezing, probably a good idea, Jack said. I got nothing, why don't we ask the guys? Asked Jiro. Already done, I asked Kiri earlier to help us out, said Mina. Kirishima, I'm guessing he'll drag the other two stooges in as well, we're sure that was a good idea, Jiro asked. Absolutely, Kiri won't let me down, and done, answered Mina. Has anything jumped out at you to do? Said Mina. Todoroki was already gone. Mina got shocked and yelled, Hi Todoroki, I thought we moved past this, quick find her. I think Todoroki went to ask someone better than Kirishima, Momo said. All the other girls looked at Momo with a shock expression on their face because they know exactly who he was talking about. Outside Bakugo's room, Bakugo said, What the F do you want? I need some advice, Todoroki asked. No, now F off, Bakugo said, closing his door. A giant chunk of ice appeared out of nowhere. What the absolute F? Bakugo yelled, clearly angry. Look, I need advice on how to ask Midoriya on a date, Todoroki asked. I don't care about what's going on between you two, but you've known him the longest, just give me a few minutes, Todoroki said. You got 5 minutes, icy hot, Bakugo said. Thank you, Bakugo, said Todoroki. Bakugo yelled back. And clean up your F mess, Bakugo yelled. You absolute dumbass. I hope you just realized you just friend-zoned the demon nerd. Now I'm gonna have to deal with his shitty attitude until you fix this. Hell, shitty Deku is probably mumbling about how he doesn't have a chance in hell with you, right? F now, Bakugo said, super angry like. That not good, said Todoroki. st. Sherlock, yelled Bakugo. Well then how do I fix this, said Todoroki, knowing the nerd. The only way is to be as direct as possible, say straight to stupid, but face your feeling toward him, none of the cheesy romantic bullshit, Bakugo said. Todoroki said, that was surprisingly mature of you, Bakugo. Shut I haven't have, Bakugo yelled back. So be clear and direct, got it? And what up, Todoroki said. And time's up. But you not even looking, Todoroki said. Yeah, it's definitely been 5 minutes. Bakugo interrupted again. Todoroki said, Alright, I got the memo, we had a deal, I'll see myself out. Hey Bakugo, one last question, said Todoroki. Ugh, make it quick, icy hot, Bakugo said. Do you think I stand a chance with Midoriya even after everything I've done? Todoroki said. Bakugo had a blank stare. Said, You're an idiot, 𝗬𝗏𝗧𝗏 said. Did you go brain dead for a second? Bakugo yelled. Like hell I would. Thanks, I'll be going. Todoroki said. Hold it, half and half, Bakugo interrupted. You're a FT's, Bakugo started. It's so disgustingly obvious that shitty Deku likes you back. Hell, you could slaughter puppies and he would still love you, Bakugo said. You have power, look decent, and are better than those other extras. Bakugo continued. So, don't sell yourself short, icy hot, Bakugo finished. Thank you, Bakugo, Todoroki replied. Whatever F, leave already, Bakugo yelled. Understood, goodbye, Todoroki said. Todoroki left and Bakugo said, Thank F, that's over. Suddenly Kirishima bust in and said, Hey Baku bro, Bakugo yelled, God if didn't it, and then said, What do you want, shitty hair, too? The rest of the squad and I are trying to help Midoriya and Todoroki get together. Wanna join? Said Kirishima. F no, Deku can go F himself, 𝗬𝗏𝗧𝗏 said. You know, Bakugo, that kinda contradicts your talk with Todoroki, Bakugo said. Well, maybe in this universe care about Deku enough, Kirishima said. If only you would like that in our universe, Bakugo yelled. You wanna go? 5. Bakugo, sit down or you be under house arrest. Mr. Aziawa said. 1. We need your help please, Kirishima begged. Bakugo thought, so bright. What the hell, why would I say that, and what was so bright? 𝗵𝗃𝗁 said confused. Jack replied, yeah, your multiverse has that as its catchphrase. Don't ask me why, cause I don't know. Arg fine, 𝗵𝗃𝗁 groaned. Yes, Kirishima said in success. If this ends up being a waste of time, I'll kill you, shitty hair, 𝗵𝗃𝗁 yelled. Don't worry man, I promise it will be worth it, Kirishima reassured 𝗵𝗃𝗁. Meanwhile with Deku, Jack said, Todoroki, I'm in like with you, Deku said panicked. In like really dude, Kaminari said Kofist. Why Deku in like, I'm sorry I panicked. Deku said clearly embarrassed. I'm sorry I panicked, Deku said clearly embarrassed, and well it makes this really awkward, Deku said. Everyone started to laugh at the sight of Todoroki. Deku said, I practiced with a dummy of Todoroki made with a mop tape with sticks and metal pipe. Midoriya, how dare you, Kaminari said. Don't listen to him, Todoroki, 𝗧𝗏 said. Todoroki isn't a that, apologize, Kaminari ordered. Why, look who I brought, Kirishima yelled, coming back with 𝗵𝗃𝗁. Deku said, Kakin, see, told ya he'd come, Kirishima said proudly. But how'd you do it, 𝗧𝗏 asked shocked. You got something to say, Deku, 𝗵𝗃𝗁 said angrily. And no, nothing at all, just why is Kakin here, Deku said scared, then asked Kirishima. Kirishima pointed out, he's super manly and scary, and what better way to gain a boost of confidence than facing someone like him. So Midoriya, pretend Bakubro is Todoroki, and proclaim you love. Kirishima said. 𝗵𝗃𝗁 create an explosion. Deku said, I had feeling that would happen. You don't say, Uraraka said, are you okay? Deku asked, yeah, I'm good, Kirishima answered. Oka didn't expect 𝗵𝗃𝗁 to blow up like that, Kirishima said. Deku yelled, how did you not see this coming? But he's been pretty chill lately, I thought he'd be fine with this, Kirishima stated. How about we try Todoroki again, you know, the thing that doesn't want me dead, Deku suggested. Nah, I'm loving Kirishima's crazy idea, we even have an extra wig we can use, Kaminari said. Help no, 𝗵𝗃𝗁 yelled, leaving. Come on 𝗵𝗃𝗁, help a bro out. Kirishima said, F this if I'm leaving, 𝗵𝗃𝗁 said, walking away. Please, I'll let you choose the path next time we go hiking, Kirishima begged, holding 𝗵𝗃𝗁's arm. Deku gets one shot, then I'm done, 𝗵𝗃𝗁 said. Thanks man, welp, good luck Midoriya, Kirishima said. Well, Kakai mean Todoroki, such an amazing person, and I can hardly believe that you're real, you're appealing and strong, not that you don't know that, and yet I was intimidated by you, but as I got to know you, become your friend. I saw just how amazing you are, you have a wonderful sense of humor and know just what to say, and you're a true hero. I know I'm not much especially compared to you, but I just wanted to say, well, that, Deku muttered. Meanwhile Kaminari said, this going to be good, and 𝗧𝗏, he's gonna do it, that Deku said. Deku took one look at 𝗵𝗃𝗁 and said, I think you are very, very scary right now, please don't hurt me. After Deku said with his mouth covered, oh fudge, Deputy burn in hell, 𝗵𝗃𝗁 yelled. Who else saw that coming? Jack said, fix his suit. Everyone put their hands up and Jack replied, of course. Shouldn't we munch like munch? Stop them. Present Mike said, eating popcorn. Aizawa replied, in a minute, I need to mentally prepare myself first. 1. Let's go do a time skip and go somewhere else because sip I just want show the most interesting parts. Jack said, hold a cup of tea. Hey 𝗲𝗏𝗃 waving. Hey, I made into this story, 𝗲𝗏 said. Oh hey 𝗲𝗃, what up, 𝗲𝗏 said. Have you seen Todoroki anywhere? 𝗲𝗃 said, let's see, 𝗲𝗏 said. The last time I saw her was in the common room with Shuji and Tokoyami, 𝗲𝗏 said while Jack show everyone he flashback. 𝗲𝗏 was remembering. Hey look, Tokoyami is us where in this universe, Shuji said. I see, wait, are we playing a video game? Tokoyami said. It looks like it, 𝗲𝗏 replied. Really? 𝗲𝗃 said. Yeah, she was asking about dating advice, which was surreal coming from her, 𝗲𝗏 said. Wait, dating advice, well. Spill, what did you say? 𝗲𝗃 said, try to get all the facts. 1. Well, it wasn't much, I just told her about some places to take Midoriya like the mall or the cat cafe we go to with Shinso, 𝗲𝗏 said. That's do kind of you, 𝗲𝗏. 𝗲𝗃 said. 𝗲𝗃 looked and asked, how am I blushing? Jack just shrugged his shoulders. Well, I got to go, if you see Todoroki again tell to find Ishido, 𝗲𝗃 said. Will do. 𝗲𝗏 replied, waving. Thanks, see you later, 𝗲𝗃 said, waving back. Whoa, what happened to you guys? You like death? Mina asked the three boys helping Midoriya. I feel like death, Kirishima replied. 𝗵𝗃𝗁 happened that what? Kaminari continued. Huh? Mina said, confused. Well, the original plan was to have Midoriya practice his confidence with Todoroki here, and that wasn't working, so Kirishima brought in 𝗵𝗃𝗁 to help, and well, you can see what happened. 𝗧𝗏 said, explaining the previous events. 𝗬𝗏𝗵 needs to rethink some plans, Jack said, staring into space. Look, I caught the whole thing on video, Kaminari said. Nice, Mina said while helping Kaminari with his wounds. It's not what I expected, but Kaminari continued. Hold up, what did you think was going to happen? It's Mito and Baku we're talking about here, Mina said. Kaminari replied. I was hoping Todoroki would pop out and cause some sort of drama or something. Instead we got Mr. Aizawa dragging away Midoriya and Bakugo to the principal's office. Kaminari, Mina yelled. Ow, too tight, Kaminari said in pain. As much as I love romantic drama, it's the last thing Todoroki needs right now, Mina said. Is romantic drama bad? Todoroki said. Mina replied, I'll explain that later, Todoroki. Then said, anyways then went silent and had a look of realization on his face, yelled, Todoroki, while Kaminari yelled, Todoroki, and Kirishima yelled, Todoroki. At the same time Todoroki said, Yo, where have you been? Mina asked. And how long have you been stand there? Kaminari asked right after Todoroki replied. Around in 5 minutes. Mina hugged Todoroki, which made a glomp sound, and said, I was so worried. I'm sorry, I was just following 𝗔𝗂𝘁𝗵𝗆 advice, but I should have Todoroki started. 𝗔𝗂𝘁𝗵𝗆 advice, Mina interrupted. Todoroki said, Yeah, ask the guys, I thought it was a good idea. Say something next time, we could have helped, Mina said. Yeah man, Kaminari interjected. You mean like you helped Midoriya? Todoroki said. Wait, you saw that? How much did you see? Kaminari said. Most of it, you guys were being pretty loud. Todoroki started. Aichi, Kaminari said. The dummy you made of me was pretty cute. Todoroki continued. You can't be serious. Deku asked Todoroki. Todoroki replied, See, as this a girl version of me, I think I am, Jack said. Yeah, because there is sequel to this universe called Todoroki the Girl 2 Meeting the Families, and you will see if you want, 𝗧𝗏 said. I bet the dummy wasn't the only thing she found cute. Then Kirishima smacked 𝗧𝗏 and 𝗧𝗏 said, Ow, Kirishima. Anyways, I need help with something, Todoroki asked. Don't worry, I got you, just don't go running off without telling me first, Mina replied. Wait, I can't stop now, we need to see what happened next, Mina said, begging me hold tightly on to my suit. Plus Jack said, Easy, I can tell you if you like. Yes, Mina said, leaning into Jack's face. You girls help Todoroki with clothes and fail. Bakugo give Todoroki a beautiful dress. Deku and Todoroki go on date, and after all is said and done Todoroki kisses Deku on the lips. Note, I did add Katsuma, but he might have bit off. Jack said, Alright then, time for the next universe. 2. This one is your future from a different timeline, Jack stated. Deku asked, how different? Well, in this timeline, Overhaul never finished the drag he made and made only one fully finish. After Deku defeated Overhaul he was going to use on Deku, but Eri jumped in front of Deku, which made her getting hit with the drag losing her quirk and becoming quirkless. Jack explained, Oh my, inko said. Which led to Deku to become Eri's All Might. Jack said. Deku and Eri looked shocked while All Might smiled. Whoa, how did the training go? Deku asked. Oh, just a few laps of running around the apartment and a few push-ups and sit-ups and course some pushing things and pulling things to build Eri's strength, Jack said. 1. This universe is gonna be so sweet, I bet Eri's going to UA and the same adventures as Deku and take down some really awful bad guy. Uraraka said, also, all for one die by accident. After his final battle with Deku while everyone was watching and Deku the same yell when he defeated Muscular, Jack said All Might changed into his muscle from and said, All right young Midoriya, then changed back into his normal form and cough more BLD. I wonder what could top Todoroki as a girl and a world without All for One, said Uraraka. Deku and girl Todoroki getting married, Mina said, Yeah, good point. See, you said this universe open on appealing sunny day at a nice and cozy house. Said, Ms. Midoriya, is that you house? One inko replied, Oh no, we live in an apartment, not a house. Mina point out and said, Do you think that's where Midoriya lives? Todoroki answered, Probably. The scene changed to the inside of the house where it showed someone cooking breakfast while humming a catchy tune, and that person looked like a muscular person with green hair tied up in a ponytail and a face now doesn't have any baby fat, and he is very tall. Deku, Izuku Midoriya. Everyone yelled at seeing Deku as a pro hero and now adult at the girls expect for Inko, and Eri started to blush at seeing their Deku very muscular and manly. Said, Look at him, he is so manly. Also look at his haircut that makes it even manlier. Mineta and Kaminari said, Why is it always the innocent that get the girls? for out of nowhere 3 children were running towards Deku. Daddy/old man/Mr. Deku. Daddy, everyone yelled too. Eri said, "Whoa, I'm Deku's daughter." All Might asked, "Is there a mum?" At that statement made by All Might made some of the girls think about a future with a Deku. Then the camera switched to a 15-year-old Eri, Kota and Katsuma with the UA uniform. Mirio said, "Look Eri and Kota, it is you guys, and it looks that Izuku is your dad." Mina said, "Look, the 3 are wearing UA uniforms." Kirishima said, "They are going to be awesome heroes one day." Izuku said, "Are you guys ready for school to become heroes?" Eri, Kota and Katsuma said, "Yep." Izuku said, "Good, now Eri, go wake up your mum." Eri said, "Okay." When Eri left, she quickly came back and said, "She's already awake and she already coming." When she said that we could see brown hair, also she had a round face and pink cheeks. Akako Uraraka for Izuku said, "Morning babe." Some girls got jealous or said 𝗕𝗶𝗶𝗶. Inko just smiled and thought, "I honestly thought that it will happen in the future." Now Eri, listen to me, all right, when you try your hardest and don't use one for all at full power on the first day like I did, and if you can try to use your legs as much as you can, which is called shoot style, got it? I mean, didn't become number 1 so easily, Deku said, standing like All Might with All Might's silhouette in the background. Wait, Deku became number 1. Katsuki yelled in anger from hearing this. 3. All right Midoriya, Sato yelled, "Give a Deku a thumbs up." That's manly. Kirishima yelled, putting his arm around Deku and also giving a light punch to the chest. "You're so cool Deku," Uraraka said, hugging Deku. "Awesome, you really are All Might's successor." Mirio yelled, "Give Deku and pat on the back." "My Izuku reached his dream." Inko said, crying tears of joy. "Of course. Would you think any less?" Kota said, knowing full well Deku would make it. "Oh, while this is so much praise," Deku said, covering his face with his hands, blushing madly. "Yes Dad," Eri said, "and Kota, keep Eri safe best you can." Deku continued, "Sure, old man," Kota said while saluting. "Also, Katsuma, heal Eri if she is hurt," Deku ordered. "Of course, Mr. Deku," Katsuma said, standing at attention. "All right, let's get you to school ready," Deku said. "Yeah." Eri and Kota yelled happily, "Okay." Katsuma said, "All right then," said Deku, and with that he kissed Uraraka goodbye and jumped off to UA and land at the gates. 10 minutes later, once they landed, Izuku set Eri and Kota down while Katsuma got down himself, who had a large grin of their faces. "That was awesome," Eri yelled, fist bumping towards the sky. "The most epic piggyback ride ever," Shoji said. "Is that even safe?" Inko asked, worried for Sun and Eri. "Do you honestly expect Deku to drop her?" All Might asked with a wide grin, relieving the worried mother. "Indeed, it was." "So Eri, Kota, Katsuma, you ready?" Deku asked, pointing to the open gates. Eri, Kota and Katsuma nodded eagerly. "Oh, one more thing," Deku said as he reached into his back pocket, Eri leaning in anticipation when Deku showed in his hand a large red apple as big as his palm to the young girl, who drooled at the sight. After Eri took the apple, Eri jumped on Izuku, giving him a hug, and the older man hugged back. "I love you Papa," Eri said, honestly making Izuku squeeze harder. "I love you too," Deku responded. "Oh," all the girls and few guys said, admiring the extremely cute sight between Deku and Eri. "Eri, if you don't stop hugging the old man, I'm going without you," Kota said. Eri and Kota laugh at them teasing each other in this universe. "Mr. Deku, I promise to help Eri if she is hurt," Katsuma yelled to Deku, already halfway to the UA doors. "Coming," Eri said, running up next to Kota. "Hey, Kota, Katsuma," Deku yelled. "Yeah," they all replied. "You look really cool," Deku yelled, giving them a thumbs up. For Inko started crying more tears of joy, happy that Izuku remembered what she said even after such long time, and to say it to his daughter after the universe ended with everyone with mixed reacts to this one universe. Uraraka said, "I hope we can see that universe again." Note: Deku sings the whole song for "Okay, this universe is going to be pretty different and will take place during the sports festival." Jack said, "Why, what is different in this universe?" Uraraka asked. "Well, the notes for this universe is demon, possession and genocide." "Oh God," Mina said, covering her mouth. "Anyway, enough talking, let's get over with, shall we?" Also, Deku is still good. At least that a bit of good news. A piano start playing with a heartbeat in the background. "Is this one with a song?" Jiro asked. "I guess," Kirishima said. "I didn't know what got into, somehow I can't go back even if I really wanted to." "What does Deku mean by that?" Uraraka said, "So what more can I do here? In the end it's just me and you. I never wanted play by all the rules." A knife in hand, 𝐎𝐻𝑗 killing 𝗵𝘃𝗀𝗀 with an evil smile on his face. 𝗵𝘃𝗀𝗀 looks shocked. I'm playing out the party of the fool, so here we go. You can judge me thoroughly. It's too late for apologies. Deku, I can't believe this. You kill 𝗵𝘃𝗀𝗀, Uraraka said, shocked. I shocked myself. Deku said too, so go ahead and just hit me since you're able. We know my determination is unstable. I'm not even mad because I keep on dying. Todoroki cringed after he heard line Inko start get scared about her child, but I don't even know why I'm trying. This isn't what I want, but it's what I asked for. What did ask for? Kirishima asked. He didn't really ask for anything, Jack said. That a lot worse. 𝗓𝗂𝘁𝗵 said, curiosity over all my morals. I took away our perfect happy ending. Resetting the world. Dispute the warnings. Show a Deku pressing a reset button with a Chako laying in front of it. 6. What does he mean resetting the world? All Might asked. In this universe, if some has a high level of determination, they're able to control the fate of the world. So after Deku saw Uraraka die, he reset just after he got his quirk and he got possessed. Jack said Uraraka was shocked that Deku did that because of something bad happening to her which made her and Deku blush super hard too. Right now I'm made of 𝗧𝗏𝗧𝗏𝗧𝗏𝗏𝗧𝗏𝗏𝗧𝗏𝗏𝗧𝗏𝗏𝗧𝗏𝗏𝗧𝗏𝗏𝗧𝗏𝗏𝗧𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 and yet I killed your brother. 𝗔𝗂𝘁𝗵𝗆 of Natsuo's head Todoroki yelled. What? Without giving him a chance every time you throw me down I hope you kill me once again. Deku death number 10. Jack thought counting, so go ahead and just hit me since you're able. All the sin that I can feel is unbearable. If I could only hit you once it would be over, but the consequences last forever. If Todoroki dies things will change. Momo said the flowers are in bloom as the birds will tell it's our appealing day to be burning in hell. Deku, don't say that. Uraraka said, I'm worried for my baby. Inko said you gave me advice I choose genocide but I know how to make it right. The screen show Deku choosing mercy. One Jack said, the deciding moment of the whole universe, the part where everything could change. The screen Todoroki killed 𝗕𝗏𝗄𝑜𝑘𝑜𝑣𝑒d Aries Jack the said darkly. You kill someone's brother you don't get a pass. I am made of 𝗨𝗨𝗨𝗨 but I'll give up for you 𝗨𝗨𝗨𝗨𝗨 but I'll give up for you 𝗨𝗨𝗨𝗨𝗨 but I'll give up for you 𝗨𝗨𝗨𝗨𝗨𝗨. That was a lot more sad than I thought, Jack said. Look confused. Gee, think, Mineta said. Note. I'm using the Sonic one is because it's the best drawn version and I'm a Sonic fan 3. Yeah, this one will make you laugh and you need it right now, but Eri and Kota can't see this one because of many reasons, Jack said. Now I'm excited, Mina said. Deku was on stage, hold a microphone and said, one story I heard about myself. This one happened at UA. We had this teacher at UA, his kid went to UA 1. Everyone leaned in to see how it was. Bakugo said, it better not be me. His name was endnver and his son Shoto Todoroki went to UA. His was a sophomore when I was a senior, so he was 2 years behind me, Deku said, and endnver was in but, Deku stated. Everyone in the theater laugh including Todoroki. And one weekend he and his wife decide to leave town, which you should never do if you're in but, Deku continued. Everyone in the laugh harder and even Bakugo started to laugh, and Shoto Todoroki decide to throw a party at the teacher's house. Deku said the went hooray sarcastically, and everyone at UA heard about it and we all got up individually and thought okay let's go over there and destroy the place, Deku said with an evil look in his eyes. Todoroki stopped laugh, got worried about his house while everyone else just continued laughing. I walked into this party, everyone I have ever met was there and everyone was drinking like it was the end of the world. People were drinking like it was the Civil War and a doctor was coming to saw our legs off, Deku said. Uraraka said laugh. Oh man, this is just too funny, Kirishima said. Also laugh said, this the funniest thing I've ever heard, Mina said laugh. I know right, even was Ida was laughing. One. It was totally unsupervised, we were dogs without horses, we were running wild. Deku said. Everyone just continued to laugh. I walked down to the basement that had a pool table in the basement. Todoroki said. We don't actually have a basement. Yeah, but his is just a different version of you, Deku said. Bakugo yelled, be quiet, I'm trying to watch this. Kirishima took a running start and threw his body onto the pool table and broke in half. Deku said, so manly, Kirishima said, but not a good idea, Ida said. Bakugo found out which room was endnver's and went upstairs and took HT on his computer. Deku said 5 and Bakugo burst out laughing. 1 Deku said with his arm going across his torso. So the part was going great. Deku then said I'm standing in the basement and I'm holding a red cup you see in movies and I'm standing there and I'm holding a red cup and I'm standing to blackout and Ida said like, something police. and in brilliant moment of word association I yelled, F the police, and everyone else joined in, 100 drunk white children yelling, F the police. With the confidence of guys who have already been to jail and aren't afraid of it anymore. You know that I served 𝗔𝗂𝘁𝗵𝗲 you come and take me, confidence, but white children everyone was laughing at Deku action with the line I served 𝗔𝗂𝘁𝗵𝗲 you come and take me. Mirio said laughing, I need a minute. The reason Ida had said, something police, was because the police were there, so a 𝗕𝗠𝗡𝗡 police officer walked down the stairs and got to the bottom of the basement and looked out over a sea of drunk toddlers yelling F the police in his face, and he was almost impressed. He was like, wow. Deku continued. 𝗵𝗃𝗲 still was laughing and said, please stop, I can't breathe. One Kirishima laughing, same here. And then he leaned into his walkie-talkie. Went get the paddy wagon. Deku said. Momo asked, is that a thing? Jack clearing his throat as he was also laughing and said, yes, it looks like a van. And my friend Kaminari, who is now a father, this man now has a baby. He grabbed a 40 smashed on the ground and yelled scatter. Kaminari was shocked to hear he has child, and everyone ran in a different direction. We all ran in different direction. It was like that scene in Ratatouille when all the humans come in the kitchen and all the rats go in different way. We all ran in different directions. Deku said. Jack said, this where the story make a little less sense. I ran into the laundry room and I jumped up on the washing machine and I crawled out through a window into the backyard, and now I'm running through the backyard and there was this big chain link fence and I thought, I've never climbed a fence that high before, and then I woke up at home. Deku said with a shrug of his shoulders. One half of the class 1A was laughing at the part that didn't make sense while the other half asked, how? On Monday I went to school because that's what we did back then, and I'm walking in the building and who do I see but Shoto Todoroki, and he asked me, hey, were you at my party on Saturday? And I said, no. You know, like a liar, and he said, things got really out of hand. Someone booked the pool table, someone took SHT on my dad's computer, but the worst thing, he said, the worst thing is that some stole these old antique photos of my grandmother and my parents are freaking out about it, and I had thought that only blackout drunks and my netta can have. Deku said too. Did I do that? Deku said worried. I figured no I wouldn't have done, but I was never sure until 2 years later. Relax, I am playing video games with this kid named Shinso that we also went to UA with 2 years. Later we've graduated by now, we're playing video games for a couple hours and then Shinso say to me, hey come here, I want to show you something, and he takes me into his bedroom and then he takes me into a side room off of his bedroom. Never a good thing to have. Deku said sternly. The theater is silent to see what it is. He shows me a tiny room that has covered wall to wall in stolen antique photos from different people parties over the years. Deku said sternly again. Needless to say everyone was shocked. And I said, why do you do this? And Shinso said because it's one thing you can't replace. Deku said with a mischievous smile on his face. Plus, no kidding. Kirishima said, that the end of that story, but how F up is that, right? That's crazy, so I don't drink anymore. Deku said with his hand on his head. Uraraka said, reasonable reason to stop drinking. After what Shinso did in this universe, I think that is reasonable choice that anyone would make. Kaminari said. Note. Deku sings the whole song again except for he part in italic. Jack brought Eri and Kota while look through his notes, but when he saw one her got really excited and said, Jack said, oh boy, this is gonna be good. This one is one of my favorites because of how surprising it is. What is it about? All Might asked. Someone who has one for all no one knew about. Jack said. Everyone just looked shocked. And he is calling Deku telepathically with his other quirk. Jack continued, oh boy. Mina said Deku is only the one can hear the appealing sound. Eri asked. Deku started sing as he walk out his room where Eri was sleeping soundly after she had a nightmare. I can hear you but I won't. Oh look, Eri is Deku's bed. Mirio said, why am I in Deku's bed? Eri asked. I right. Eri had a nightmare and she asked Deku if she could sleep with him. Jack said. Uraraka and so you both went. Some look for trouble while others don't. There's 1,000 reasons I should go about my day and ignore your whispers which I wish would go away. Whoa. Oh. Deku sang back. Where the hell is that singing coming from? Bakugo said. Hagakure said, I don't care, the singing is appealing. Deku continued. Sing. You're not a voice, you're just a ringing in my ear, and if I heard you, which I don't, I'm spoken for. I fear everyone I've loved is here within these walls. Not exactly, Jack said looking at Inko and Kota. Deku looked at me and just nodded. I'm sorry, secret siren, but I'm blocking out your calls. Deku sang. Good choice, Midoriya. Ida said with a chopping arm motion. Deku contrite. To sing. I've had my adventure, I don't need something new, I'm afraid of what I'm risking if I follow you. Into the unknown, into the unknown, into the unknown. Deku continued to sing as he walked out of the dormitory. What do you want? 'Cause you're keeping me awake, are you here to distract me so I make big mistake? Good reason, 𝗬𝗍𝗓 said. Or are you some out there who's a bit like me? Deku said with a look of realization on his face. Better reason, 𝗬𝗏𝗧𝗏 said. Who knows, deep down I'm not where I'm meant to be. Deku-sang looked sad. Every day's a little harder as I feel power grow. The screen showed Deku activate Black WHP while singing. Everyone was shocked. Wait, where'd Deku get that quirk? Bakugo said angrily. If had to guess, it would one of the previous uses of one for all. All Might thought. Do you know there's part of me that longs to go, Deku sang. Into the unknown, into the unknown, into the unknown. Whoa, oh. Deku sang as his voice got high. Are you out there? Do you know me? Can you feel me? Can you show me? Deku sang. The singing replied back. Deku sang again. The singing replied back again. They sang together. Deku start to run on a cliffside while sing. Where are you going? Don't leave me alone. How do I follow you into the unknown? Deku jump into a ball. Everyone yelled, Deku. Then Deku straightened his arms and legs and started to float. Whoa, Deku float in the air. Mirio said, go Deku. 𝗬𝗓𝗓 said, giving a fist bump into the air. All Might said, my older sir had that quirk. All right, next up is a really sweet one. Jack said one. Sweet how? Jiro asked. Sweet like, you did sweet thing, sweet. Jack answered. Momo said, I wonder how nice it is. The screen showed you. After the festival with Aziawa teaching class 1A. All right, I have something to say. Since everyone loved your performance at the festival, you lot will be writing your own songs to sing. Aziawa said, really lame. Bakugo said, come on Bukago, I think it will be fun. Kirishima said 4. Well, if that's case, we should get started. 𝗧𝗪𝗏 said excited. This pretty much the same as our world. Mina said, yeah. Ochako said, anything else we should do? Deku asked Aziawa. Do it quietly, Aziawa replied, getting into his sleeping bag. Everyone was writing with Kirishima, Mineta, and Aoyama finish first while everyone else was writing. Deku said to 𝗕𝗏 turned to himself, which 𝗬𝗏𝗏 noticed and him asked about it. Hey Deku, is the turn for you song? 𝗬𝗏𝗏 asked. Oh yeah, you see I have had this song in my head for a while. Deku answered. Bakugo thought. His song will probably 𝗧𝗂𝐾. Time skipped to the songs while family members were invited to see their children sing. First up was Kirishima, Mineta and Aoyama, and the Deku went up on stage and said, hello, my name is 𝗧𝗍𝗵𝗏 Midoriya, and I'm going to sing has been in my head for a while. Deku grabbed the microphone and started to sing. Isn't she lovely, isn't she wonderful, isn't she precious, such her appealing soul. I never thought that I would be son of someone as lovely as she. Isn't she lovely, she's my mom. 𝗬𝗏𝗏 said, this song sounds so good. Inko started to cry at how Deku wrote this song about her. All Might just closed his eyes and relaxed at how catchy it was. Isn't she pretty, truly the angel's best boy. I'm so happy, I have been heaven blessed. I can't believe what God has done. Might be the luckiest son, but isn't she lovely, she's my mom. 𝗬𝗓𝗓 asked Mirio, can it sit in Inko's lap? Sure 𝗬𝗓𝗓, here you go. Mirio said. Put 𝗬𝗓𝗓 in Inko's lap. Kota said, make some room, I want to as well. Nijire checked at the cute sight. Isn't she lovely, isn't she wonderful, isn't she precious, such her appealing soul. I can't believe get to be son of someone as lovely as she. Isn't she lovely, she's my mom, isn't she lovely, she's my mom. Mina just started to cry more at how sweet it was. Deku walk off stage after say, thank you for listening. After the song were sang, Tussis went up to Deku and said, the song was really catchy. Midoriya? Yeah, it was great going Deku. 𝗬𝗏𝗏 said. Deku said, thanks guy, but every word in that song I meant it, the whole song is honest. 𝗬𝗏𝗏 hugged Deku said, you're so sweet Deku, I see why you wanna be hero. And you got a great mum to back you up. Kirishima said. Head towards the dorms, overhearing the conversation. Thanks, Deku said. So how was that? Jack said. Mina was still crying from the sweetness and Inko was hugging Deku. I think I have my answer, Jack said. Oh god, this one is gonna be good. Jack said. Why? Bakugo asked. Because every hero and villain ever will team up to save half of the universe for be erased. Jack said, shacking excitedly. All Might said, I'm sorry, did say hero and villain. Yes, that is still alive and have names. Jack said. Mr. Aziawa, does that include me? 1. Yes I does, Jack said. Then who's in charge of recruitment? Uraraka asked. Deku, Jack said. The screen open up at Night Eyes Agency. All right, young Midoriya, we're all here. What is that needed all of us for? All Might sitting next to All for one. Never thought I'd see the day when that happened. All Might said. Deku said, thank you all for coming. Now you may know this is kinda sudden of all of you were suddenly called here, but we must all work together to just today to save the half-universe from being erased. For see, any one of yous could be erased right now, but if we act early we can stop that from happening. And because I have this, Deku pulled out a suitcase with 4 of the 6 Infinity Stones we need to keep from the main enemy Thanos. Deku turn on a projector. Thanos, also known as the Mad Titan, wishes to erase half the universe to save resources, but that does kill trillions of species in the universe. So today all of us must stand together and help one another to protect our friends, family and teammates. So let's save the world and beyond. Plus Ultra 2. Everyone yelled back, plus Ultra. You know, Deku, where we would have a fight this serious? How about a contest to take down the most minions? Bakugo asked. I bet Deku will says yes. Bakugo said, you must be joking. Bakugo. Kirishima said, no thanks Bakugo, now not the time for that anyway. I just want to be a hero people look up to and be the next All Might. Deku said, why? Bakugo asked. That's only reason I joined UA in the first place. Deku said. Time skip. The Deku squad and Baku squad are standing outside of UA. Look straight at Thanos sitting down with 2 Infinity Stones. So you 12 are the strongest if you are here, Thanos said. Oh, we have much more. Deku said. Cammy, turn off her illusion, and it showed the rest of the team. So you have everyone, Thanos said. So shall we begin? Bakugo said. Deku yelled, plus. The quietly said, Ultra. And everyone charged at each other. Mount Lady punched one of Thanos' ships out of the air while Deku, Uraraka and Toga while fight off a hulking-sized monster. Bakugo came up behind, yelled, die, before blasted with several explosions. And while Uraraka and Toga sw'd to other monsters while that was happening, Toga's knife went into Uraraka's hand and she used it and after said to Toga, I think you lost this. Toga took the knife and said, thanks. While me and Toga worked together surprisingly good, Uraraka said, just make me wish she were student now. Deku said. While that was happening, Endnver was getting overwhelmed and 𝗕𝗵𝗆 saved him and helped him up alongside Todoroki, and he asked, Shoto, why are you being friendly with this villain? If it a one-time thing, Todoroki said, Dad, he is Toya Todoroki. As soon as Todoroki said, Endnver hugged 𝗕𝗵𝗆 and 𝗕𝗵𝗆 hugged back. Todoroki was silent. Time skip again. Everyone was down with just Deku, Bakugo and Todoroki left. Wait, everyone is down, so Deku, 𝗓𝗏 and I are the last one. Bakugo said, how much power does he have? Deku said, note. Play the video at 0:43 till 2:46. Thanos looked straight at Deku. Thanos then yelled and Deku. Bakugo yelled and rushed towards him and kept fighting. Deku and Bakugo are act ally, fight side by side. Ochako yelled. Thanos punched Deku in the stomach, but Deku grabbed his arms so Bakugo could elbow Thanos in the face. Todoroki provide backup with his flames. Deku and Bakugo ran toward Thanos, who was flying the sky and was getting hit by Todoroki flames when Deku and Bakugo jumped of many walls so that could get a good hit in, but then Thanos hit the both with one hand many times and Thanos flew past them and went towards Todoroki. But he jumped out the way of Thanos. One Bakugo yelled, I need you to throw me, nerd. Deku said, oh yeah. They put both his hands together and throw Bakugo and he flew towards Thanos and 𝗏𝗏𝗆 and 𝗏𝗏𝗏 pushing him downwards. Bakugo gonna take himself out to get Thanos. Would he do that? Kirishima yelled. Thanos managed to steer himself to make sure he was safe and used his arm that Bakugo was still holding on to and drag his body across the ground. Then suddenly Deku came flying in with one for all powered up to 100% plus. Todoroki yelled, do it. All Might yelled, Midoriya, Bakugo. Everyone yelled, go. Deku and Bakugo held the Infinity Stones in their hands and Thanos with as much power as they can. Note, Deku is singing the whole song. Okay, time for another song, Jack said. Really about time. I've waiting for of Midoriya singing after the mum's song, Ashido said. Yeah, and we need a rest after the epicness of the last one. Inko said, okay, ready, Jack said. Uraraka, I feel like nothing I worth doing, Deku said. How, why doubt? Uraraka asked. Well, it just because, well, Deku started. I've been so good, I've been helpful and friendly, nice music. Jiro said, I've been so good, why am I feeling empty? I've been so good this year, I've been so good, but it's still getting harder. I've been so good, where the hell is the karma? He has a point, Ida said. Really? Uraraka asked. Yeah, I mean Midoriya so much good for all of us but nothing good happens to him in return, Kirishima said. Uriaraka said, yeah you're right, I've been so good this year. Why? Are you asking me why? My days and nights are filled with disappointment. Fine. Oh no, everything's fine. I'm not sure why I booked today's appointment. I've been so good, I've been helpful and friendly, I've been so good, why am I feeling empty? Young Midoriya, tell about this if you need to. All Might asked. I've been so good this year. I've been so good, but it's still getting harder. I've been so good, where the hell is the karma? I've been so good this year. What, am I normal or not? Am I crazier than other patients? Right, I've done everything right, so where's the karma, doc? I've lost my patience. My baby has been patience for some good karma, Inko said, 'cause I've been so good, I've been working my butt off. I've been so good, still, I'm lonely and stressed out. I've been so good, I've been so good this year and I've been so good, but it's still getting harder. I've been so good, where the hell is the karma? I've been so good this year. I've been so good this year. I've been so good this year. Time. I know we're out of time, but what if sad thoughts come and I can't stop it? Bye. I don't want to say bye. If only I could keep you in my pocket to give me some diagnosis of why I'm so hollow. Please give me instructions. I promise I'll follow. I tripped on my ankle and fractured my elbow, but doesn't that mean that the tour's gonna sell though? I try to explain the good faith that's been wasted, but after an hour it sounds like complaining. Wait, don't go away. Can I lie here forever? You say that I'm better, why don't I feel better? The universe works in mysterious ways, but I'm starting to think it ain't working for me. Doctor, should I be good? Should I be good this year? Do you see where I'm coming from? Deku asked. Yeah, I see, Deku, Uriaraka said, and the screen went black. That ending was abrupt, Jack said. Deku said, yeah it was. Anyway, time for the next one. This one is Meet UA's Plastics, Jack said. This one sounds interesting. Ida said, hi, my name is Uriaraka and I'm going to new school and I hoping to make friends. Uriaraka walked into the school and saw two green-haired people. Deku and 𝗬𝗓 said, hey, look at us. Uriaraka breathed out and said, well, here goes. Nothing. Hello, Uriaraka said. Hi, you new here, so what's your name? Deku said. Uriaraka said, my name is Uriaraka. Well, this is 𝗬𝗓 and my name is Zuku, but my friends call me Deku. Deku said, why? Uriaraka said, why, well, people say I can do anything. Deku said, time skip. Uriaraka said, whoa, who's at that table over there? Don't look at them, just don't. Deku said, we call those three, the plastics. They're shiny, fake, and hard. Deku said, they play their little mind games all around the schoolyard. 𝗬𝗓 said, they might insult your clothing or make fun of your name. Deku said, like they mocked Jen Moorcock, till she burst into flames. 𝗬𝗓 said, and Ms. Moorcock was a teacher. Deku said, Regina George is the queen bee. She's always dressed up. She always wins spring fling. Queen, we're just drones who work for her. Then 𝗬𝗓 said, my name is Regina George. 𝗓𝗓 sang. Wait, I'm one of the plastics? 𝗓𝗓 said. Jack just nodded. And I am a massive deal. Fear me, love me, stand and stare at me. And these are real. 𝗓𝗓 said, point at her horns. I've got money and looks. I am, like, drunk with power. This whole school humps my leg like a chihuahua. I'm the prettiest poison you've ever seen. I never weigh more than 115. My name is Regina George and I am a massive deal. I don't care who you are. I don't care how you feel. That's Gretchen Wieners. She knows everything about everybody. 𝗬𝗓 said, that's why her hair is so big. It's full of secrets. Deku said, yes, Regina. Momo started to sing. Momo said, I'm started to see the people are the plastic have wired quirks. Jack said, that makes sense. No, Regina, every waking hour I spend making sure Regina George can stay in power. If Regina is the sun, then I'm a disco ball. 'Cause I'm just as bright and fun. If you've had alcohol, I worm your secrets out of you and bring them to my, and then I watch Regina make your life a big disaster. Regina is the queen, but I'm the head of worker bees as I am seated at her right hand like a Jewish princess. Jesus, that is Karen Smith, the dumbest person you will ever meet. 𝗬𝗓 said, I once saw her put "e" in the word orange. Deku said, my name is Karen. Said Hagakure, hey, why I'm the dumb one. Jack just shrugged his shoulders. My hair is shiny, my teeth are perfect, my skirt is tiny, it barely covers my perky hiney too. My name is Karen. I may not be smart, that's it, right? We never really do this, but how'd you like to have lunch with us this week? 𝗓𝗓 said, oh, it's okay. Uriaraka, no need for you to thank us. 𝗓𝗓 said, but Uriaraka, there's no need to even speak. Ashido said, "You're new and you don't know things. You need good friends who can tell you what to think. See you here same time tomorrow." Momo said, "On Wednesdays we wear pink," said 𝐎𝐻𝑒𝐿. "On Wednesdays we wear pink." They all said yes. Regina, my name is Karen. They all said to sing, "No, Regina, every waking hour. Here's where you belong. I spend making sure Regina my hair is shiny. George can stay in power. Here's where you belong. If Regina is the sun, my teeth are perfect. Then I'm a disco ball. My skirt is tiny, 'cause I'm just as bright and fun. Here's where you belong. If you've had alcohol, wear something nice and grab a tray, 'cause we don't do this every day. Say here's where you belong." They all said, say. Momo sang, say. Ashido sang, say. 𝗬𝗓𝗄 sang, "Here's where you belong." They all said, "No, really? Say it." Ashido said, say here's/I where you belong. All, for girls sang, "Come sit with us tomorrow, it'll be fetch." Momo said time skip. Deku was alone with an angry look on his face and looked at Uraraka and just said, "Uraraka, death." Uraraka said, "My name is 𝗧𝗬." Deku said, "Oh, is Deku's mad?" Bakugo said scared. "Bakugo, it's just Midoriya." Ida said one. Deku said, "He has point." "What, I thought we were friends." Uraraka said, "See. That's the thing with you plastics. You think everybody is in love with you, when actually everybody hates you." Deku said, "You made me like this. It was your idea for me to pretend to be plastic." Uraraka said, "Buddy, it's not pretend. You are as plastic as they come. You think yours, you don't stink. You think the rest of us are dumb. I hate Regina's guts, but here's what you don't comprehend. At least she has the guts to not pretend to be my friend." Deku sang angrily, "Deh." Uraraka said, "No, it's fine, really fine, go be fine." Deku yelled singing crying, "And I want my pink shirt." Tussie said, "Well, that happened." Jack said, "Yeah." Deku and Bakugo said, "Okie dokie, next universe 𝐼𝐭𝐵𝗺𝗽𝗺 and kota need to sit out for this along. How is 𝗬𝗵𝐶?" Jack said, "Why?" Deku asked. "This one is called quirk malfunction. You fight a villain who control quirks, so he your quirks to kill yourself." Jack said, "Oh God." Jiro and Denki said as they held on to each other, "Let's begin and grab a bucket." Jack said the screen opened up with class 1 of fight a villain and he used his quirk on Tokoyami and he was overwhelmed and killed by dark shadow. "There goes Tokoyami," Kirishima said in a scared tone. Kota anima voice called a bear and he was too scared to react. Everyone cover their eyes. Minty balls start to fall of uncontrollable Mina. Acid start to melt her. Wait, I melted. Mina said. For Ojiro's tail stared to chock him. Everyone when silent. Momo made a sword out of her hand with tip of the sword going through her Jiro's earphone. Jax stared to hear too much sound and got ripped off. Azui fell in some water and her tongue wrapped around her neck and waist and killed her. One Shoji was making too many arms. It was becoming painful. Uraraka flopped into space. Zero tapes went everywhere and choked him. Aoyama naval laser slit his tummy open. Bakugo blew one of his arms off. 13 Kirishima skin was stared to shed. Denki was being overloaded the wrong way. Todoroki made him get stabbed by ice come out from his arm on the right side and fire interested the left side. Deku broke both his arms and legs. 11 I had add this image because people didn't get what I meant. 3 I had add this image because people didn't get what I meant. 1 Tenya jet in the back of his legs brunt both of his legs. The rest of class 1 still alive just ran and didn't stop running. And that is it, I'm done. W sad ones for the rest of this, Jack said in an angry tone. Let's just go to the next one. Jack said. Facepalm. Jack said, "Oh geez, this one. Why, what it called?" Bakugo said, "Yeah, what is it called?" Uraraka asked. Bakugo and Deku get hit in the PP. Jack said. Bakugo and Deku yelled, "What?" "Anyway, let's begin, shall we?" Jack said. The screen shows Bako gets hit away from the screen. He's quite presentient. A metal Todoroki said, "Wait, robot Todoroki," said Mina. One Robo Todoroki. Tussie said. 6 Deku said, "You have no idea." Bakugo flies towards the screen then gets hit away again. "He actually a really nice guy once you get know him," Deku said. "I doubt that." Metal Todoroki said, "Same." Everyone said. Bakugo flew and hit Metal Todoroki said, "Son of Beach got you this time." But the Metal Todoroki grabbed Bakugo legs that threw him to ground hard. "Oh, is Baku bro gonna be okay?" Kirishima asked. "Just watch." Jack said then went on top of him with his hand over his mouth said, "You wanna know what death tastes like? Wait, the Robo Todoroki is a killer robot." Deku said. Deku get Metal Todoroki of Bakugo and Bakugo. "Oh, would you just?" Flew towards Bakugo teleported and Bakugo said confused, "What, where did you?" Deku said, "Sorry, saved you again, Kaken." Deku and Bakugo two side of the same coin. Jack said, "How?" Deku asked. The side are different but they have the same goal, Jack said. One, spoken like a true poetry, Ida said, that it killing you both AP shot. Bakugo yelled destroyed the metal Todoroki and Deku was but metal Todoroki and Deku got out the way in time kinda. Expect that, Momo said. Then out of nowhere within human speed metal Todoroki kicked Bakugo in the PP with a crunch. Everyone coved their mouth at the sound. Everything went in slow motion and he got punched into Deku's arm. He asked, Kaken, are you okay? Time skip metal was walking towards a beaten up Deku and Bakugo asked, he keep kicking me in the PP. Why does keep kicking me in the PP? Everyone started to laugh. Wait, I think I might have a way to beat him, Deku said, and Bakugo replied, if you say hit him really hard I swear to God I will kick you in the PP. Deku said, I guess we could hit him really. Bakugo growled, using our quirks. Deku said, fine here. Bakugo thought one of Gauntlet towards Deku. Wow, he agreed with Deku's idea, said, for they flew towards the metal Todoroki and yelled howitzer impact smash. Mirio said, cool tag super move, ready. Deku said, AP shot. Bakugo yelled back to make sure metal Todoroki was gone for good. Yeah, they won. Eri said happily, God, I need a rest. Deku said, I second that. Bakugo said. Deku looked towards the cliff and said, hey Kaken, we beat him right? Bakugo looked towards Deku said, yeah, why? Deku replied, point towards the cliff. Then who's that guy? The metal Todoroki said, hello buddy. Deku said, oh right, the 𝗔𝗂𝘁𝗵𝗆. That's right, we are a legion for we are dash. Metal Todoroki said. Bakugo replied, a pain in my butt. Nice ending to that sentence, Kaminari said. Deku said, well Kaken, you take the 500 on the right and I'll take the 500 on the left. Kaken yelled, screw you, I'll take 501. Deku said, that's sprit. Deku and Bakugo yelled while powering up their quirks. Ha, time skip again? Wow, I can't believe every single one of them kicked you in the PP. Deku said. One. Bakugo made a high pitch one. Every held back their laughter. Time skip for a T-red time. How it really doesn't make any sense. It took everything you had to take down a single me, yet you have enough power to overload the 𝗧𝗏𝗏𝗏. How did you do this? Said giant metal Todoroki. It looks like you underestimated our power just like, said Deku while we was getting ready for another fight. Don't you dare, giant metal Todoroki said. You did in the past. Deku said, oh fair enough, said giant metal Todoroki. And just like villains, Bakugo said, yeah. Giant metal Todoroki said he used his wires to tangle Deku and hold him still and said, did the villains ever do this? Begin to think you something against the villains. Deku said, die, as. Giant metal Todoroki said that he started to tighten the wire holding Deku as he screamed out in pain. Bakugo blew off the giant metal Todoroki's arm and said, that was for ma PP. Timely time skip to another battle. Deku yelled, my turn. Deku started to punch a villain and was not even flinching. Meanwhile, a computer showed Deku's PP said, weakness identified. The villain grabbed Deku's leg and punched him right between the legs. Uraraka covered her mouth. Oh, forget to mention you and Deku are married in this universe. Jack said there was time skip into the future where Deku's oldest son was trained with his young brother when he said, alright bro, it's you job to chuck this as hard as you can so I can all trained up so I can face off against dad in the tournament. He drew a line with his foot. Now stand behind that line and bro, as the young brother faded away and the bro said, what was I doing here? When the oldest son said that, everyone realized what happened to Deku. PP. The villain threw Deku down a pit and land on some snow and Deku just laid there and said, he punched me in the PP. Why did he punch me in the PP? Bakugo said, not so funny now is it Deku? Kaminari said, is Midoriya gonna be okay? Bakugo yelled, get the F off me. Okay, that was funny, Ida said, starting to laugh. The funniest bit was Bakugo's high pitch in pain. Kirishima said, anyway, on to the next one. Jack said, finally a mature one, so this is another one Eri and Kota can't see. Jack said, why? Deku asked, this is an 18+1 but I'm going to show because you guys are heroes and you need to be adults. Jack said, so let's begin. Jack said the screen show a stage with 3 figures on stage, then music stated to play. A light turn on and show Todoroki shirtless and he started sing, sure she got a body like an hourglass but I can give it to you all the time. Todoroki sang, all girls blushed. Sure she got a butt like a Cadillac 4 but I can send you into overdrive. Todoroki continued to sing, all girls got redder. You've been waiting for that, step on up, swing your bat, you see anybody could be bad to you, you need a good boy to blow your mind. Yeah, he sang while point at the second figure. I'd said, this song is mature. So is the universe. Jack said. Bang bang into the room, I know you want it, bang bang all over you, I'll let you have it, wait a minute, let me take you there, I'll wait a minute, till you hey. Bang bang there goes your heart, I know you want it back, backseat of my car, I'll let you have it, wait a minute, let me take you there, I'll wait a minute, till you hey. Todoroki finished. So who next? Kirishima asked, enjoying the beat of the song. Kaminari said, yeah, I wanna know. Jiro just nodded, trying to hide her obvious blush. A light showing on the second figure is showed Deku's scared arms. He had vest on with a towel round his neck. She might have let you hold her hand at school, but I'm a show. You how to graduate? Deku sang. One Uraraka fanaded. No, I don't need to hear you talk the talk, just come and show me what your mama gave. Oh yeah, 𝗕𝗂𝗁𝗄𝐿, Midoriya sing is so good, Kirishima said. Yeah, but the song is kinda risque. Ojiro said, you're got a very big mouth, but don't say a thing. See, anybody could be good to you, you need a bad boy to blow your mind. 𝗕𝗂𝗁𝗄𝐿 to sing while pointed at the third figure. Bang bang into the room, I know you want it, Deku sang with Todoroki. Bang bang all over you, I'll let you have it, wait a minute, let me take you there, I'll wait a minute, till you hey. Bang bang there goes your heart, I know you want it back, backseat of my car, I'll let you have it, wait a minute, let me take you there, I'll wait a minute, till you hey. You know what, extra. Let me show you how to do it, 𝗵𝘃𝗁𝗍 said while Deku and Todoroki, while they were finishing singing, a light showing on the third 𝗕𝗏𝗁𝗍 wearing a 𝗬𝗪𝗎 baseball cap, rings and gold chain that said number 1 hero. 𝗵𝘃𝗁𝗍 started rap. It's mix Moscato, it's frizz in a bottle, it's Nikki full throttle, it's oh swimming in the grotto, we winning in the lotto, we dipping in the pot of blue foam, it's me, to do, and Deku if they test me, they sorry ride his like a Harley then pull off in his Ferrari. If he hanging we banging phone ringing, he's slanging it ain't karaoke night but get the mic, cause I'm singing B to the A to the N to the G to the B to the A to the N to the G to the hey. See, anybody could be good to you, you need a bad boy to blow your mind, okay, he sang, pointed at himself. While 𝗵𝘃𝗁𝗍, I didn't you could rap, 𝗧𝗏 said. I'm surprised myself, 𝗵𝘃𝗁𝗍 said wide-eyed. Bang bang into the room, I know you want it. All three boys started singing, bang bang all over you, I'll let you have it, wait a minute, let me take you there, I'll wait a minute, till you hey. Bang bang there goes your heart, I know you want it back, backseat of my car, I'll let you have it, wait a minute, let me take you there, I'll wait a minute, till you hey. Bang bang into the room, I know you want it, bang bang all over you, I'll let you have it, bang bang there goes your heart, I know you want it back, backseat of my car, I'll let you have it, wait a minute, let me take you there, I'll wait a minute, till you hey. The three boys finished turning their backs to the crowd as the light turned off on the stage turned off. Alrighty then, this one will be different to other versions of this one universe because other versions, but it is pretty much the same thing. Deku finally snaps at 𝗵𝘃𝗁𝗍, Jack said, I'm gonna have a bad time, 𝗵𝘃𝗁𝗍 sighed. Uraraka said, I'll go wherever Deku goes, I'll feel safe next to him. 𝗵𝘃𝗁𝗍 said, yeah, I'll go where Deku goes because he feels safe next to me. The scream show Deku get mad. Ooh, Deku gets angry. 𝐎𝐩𝐿 said, you wanna say that again, Kaken? Deku said, exerce me. 𝗵𝘃𝗁𝗍 said, Kaminari said, is that all I get to say in this? Kaminari said, well, what you say if you saw Deku mad? Jiro asked, fair enough. Kaminari replied, yeah, repeat what you just said about me being safe around you. Deku said, well, mha-into-the-dekuverse Deku, we've been friends since we were kids, I've always had you back. 𝗵𝘃𝗁𝗍 said, really? Had my back? That's funny. Question. Did you have my back when I wanted to be a hero? Deku said, he has a point, Uraraka said, and a very good point at that. Ida said, was Midoriya bullied before he knew us? Todoroki thought, no, but 𝗵𝘃𝗁𝗍 said, that's right, Deku interputed, God didn't Deku don't interrupted me, 𝗵𝘃𝗁𝗍 said, you didn't, Deku said, and what did you do again? Was it talk to me like a hero? No, was it give me your support like a friend would? Oh, I remember now. Swan dive off a roof. Am I remembering your suggestion correctly? Deku said everyone gave 𝗵𝘃𝗁𝗍 death glares, even Eri and Kota was giving 𝗵𝘃𝗁𝗍 death glares. 3 𝗵𝘃𝗁𝗍 said, okay, hold on, I admit I might step over the line a little, alright, but a little. Suggesting suicide is a little to you. Oh Kaken, you are some piece of work. Honestly, I don't know why I'm so surprised you're this way. You've always been like this. Maybe the reason you can't act like a decent person is because you can't get over the fact that I'm going to be a better hero than you. Deku sighed, whoa, I didn't know Midori would snap like that, especially in front of 𝗵𝘃𝗁𝗍. Mina said, Holy 𝗧𝗵𝗵𝗲 said 2. Jack said, okay, next up is Deku Young Age. All Might said, is this a sequel to the universe where Deku was a father? Nope, it is another alternate future. In this universe Deku is married to Melissa 𝗕 and everyone said the two are the perfect team. Jack said Jack start to think and said, 𝗬𝗵𝗲 I really should invited them down here. Jack went to snap his fingers but failed. He rubbed his hand and try again. It worked and a portal opened and Dave and Melissa 𝗕 fell out. So after get them 𝗬𝗪s up, hi there tip of the hat to ya, Jack said bowing. Now then on with I was going to do. Dave asked, wait, who are you? Oh, where are my manners? My name is Jack. I know who you two are, so don't need to tell me your names, Jack said. Now if you would like to take a seat so we can begin, Jack said. Yes. It trembled before my might. A villain's cry went through the air as the scene changed. It showed a partially destroyed 𝗔𝗂𝗧𝗵𝗲 with a fairly large evil-looking man in random clothes and standing in a small crater. Oh great, it's one of those villains, 𝗬𝗬𝗧 said. What kind? Eri and Melissa asked. The type that think just because they have a powerful quirk they're unstoppable, 𝗧𝗪𝗢𝗏 said. With my power I'm even stronger than All Might and 𝐒𝐻𝗁𝗄 stop me, the villain yelled. Well, I hope I can give it a go, adult Deku said. Deku, Ochako, Melissa, Eri and Kota all cheered in joy at seeing their friend and hero on screen and in sleek costume to boot. Whoa, who made that suit for him? Melissa asked, curious and excited in case she made it, like she had wanted to in the future. You did? Jack said. Melissa herself was shocked. Midoriya looks so cool, Mina said with starry eyes. And handsome, Momo added. Really, and who hell do think you are then? The villain said angrily. Just a hero. How is the number one? Deku said. How you going down whether you're number one or not? The villain throwing rockets out of his hands, so Deku used 𝗕𝗏𝗧𝗟 smash to miss Derek the rockets. Sorry, what was the threat again? Run away already, Deku said. Coward, Bakugo said. That villain ran away so unmanly. Kirishima said. Come on, fight Deku like a man. Tetsutetsu said. You got ahead of yourself, hun. Melissa said. They're fast. Follow them, babe, Deku said. I've been following them for a while. The villain was shown running away while a little run plan followed them. Deku and Melissa managed to catch up to the villain. Why won't you two just give up? The villain yelled, firing rockets back. A Deku and Melissa, bubble rockets fire. Melissa said. The villain just growled. Deku, do you know what to? Melissa said. I have a plan, Deku said. You don't know when to give up, do you? The villain said back, firing more rockets. Deku did another 𝗕𝗏𝗧𝗟 smash and the rockets went into each other. Time to finish this, Deku said. Do it. Melissa said. Deku dashed towards villain and yelled Detroit smash and knock OU the villain and stood triumphantly on top of the building. So how was that? Jack said. Amazing, said Eri. Note. Play the video till 1:16. Jack said. Okay, next universe. Jack went silent. Momo asked. Jack, is something wrong? Jack just walked away when the screen showed Deku after saving Bakugo. All Might saved us. A random person said. People stared to cheer. All Might. Deku just stood there smiling. Then 𝗓𝗏𝗋 said. Hey you, I can't believe how reckless you are putting yourself in danger like this, Deku said. What, but I was trying to help, Bakugo said. He does have a point, Deku just looked at Bakugo shocked. Help a scrawny thing like you, all you did was make thing worse, 𝗓𝗏𝗋 said one. Wow, rude much, Jiro said. I second that, Kaminari said. Being rude to somebody trying to help is unmanly. Kirishima said. What is hadn't done anything, you still be there watching him die, said Deku. You tell him, Deku. Uraraka yelled. How dare you, 𝗓𝗏𝗋 said. I am sorry, I didn't mean to say that, I just, Deku said. You better explain yourself, kid, 𝗓𝗏𝗋 said. Wait, All Might, you saw it? All Might. This seems kinda dark, Ida said. Ojiro said. You're right. It's darker than my room, said Tokoyami. I'll save you, Kaken, Deku said. Tell the I helped, Deku said. If you wanna people become a cop, people make fun of them for only take villains away, but it's a fine job, All Might said. And that is the story of how I became a villain, said Deku, citing a chair. Wait, Deku is a villain, Bakugo said. Why? Waraka asked. Time skip. So overhaul if have offer for you can continue your work, but you will give me half of what you make. Got it? And Eri runs off. Let her go, Deku said. Okay, I agree, and in addition for your deal I'll work with you and the Leguera villains, Overhaul said. Good. Deku said. Time skip any minute now, Shigaraki. Deku said. Believe me, I know. I've sunk pretty low, but whatever I've done you deserved, he said. Hold a bleeding, a beaten Bakugo. Inko said. Izuku, Deku replied quiet. Deku said. I can't believe I'm a villain. Deku 𝗁𝗄𝗏 I'm the bad guy. That's fine, it's no fault of mine and some justice at last will be served. Now it's time to step up, or it's time to back down, and there's only one answer for me, and I'll stand up and fight cause I know that I'm right and I'm ready, ready as I'll ever be, Momo said. Now it's time to rise up or it's time to stand down, and the answer is easy to see, 𝗧𝗏 said. And Momo is set us up to fight off the villains. And I swear by the sword if you're in, get on board, are you ready? Momo said, creating a sword. Todoroki said, I'm ready. Ida and Kirishima said, we're ready. Crowd said, we're ready. Momo said, ready as I'll ever be. All Might said, are you quite sure we can do this? 𝗧𝗏 said, together we will guarantee. Deku said, I'll make them hear me. Crowd said, now it's time to redeem or it's time to resolve. Momo said, prove they can trust me. Crowd said, and the outcome will hardly come free. 𝗧𝗏 said, I'll save my home and family. Crowd said, now the lines in the sand and our moments at hand. Todoroki said, and I'm ready. Momo said, I'm ready. 𝗧𝗏 and All Might, I'm ready. Deku, ready as I'll ever be. One to be Kanshui. Jack came normal and said, bet that was surprise. Okay, the next universe is a prequel to Daddy Deku. Jack said, really? Deku said, yes, and just so you at this point in time Deku is still Jack said. Dark clouds filled the night sky as large amounts of rain poured down, followed by loud thunderclaps. Wrapped up in a blanket on the couch, Eri shivered nervously, unable to sleep. The dark, empty environment of the dorm lobby at night brought back horrible memories of her time in the 𝗕𝗁𝗂𝗏 base, and the raging thunderstorm wasn't helping matters. An extremely loud thunderstrike erupts throughout the sky. Eri screamed in fear before tears start pouring out of her eyes as she starts sobbing. Deku woke up to get a glass of milk, but her Eri crying and walks over to her and asks her, hey Eri, what's the matter? Eri said, sobbing, what are you doing down here? Deku really care about Eri? Ida asked. And people wonder why Deku wants to be a hero. Bakugo said. Deku replied, I couldn't sleep so I came down to get a glass of milk. I'm guessing you couldn't sleep either. Eri nods before a thunderstrike erupts, causing her to yelp before jumping into Midoriya's arms and sobbing into his chest. Deku said while strokes her hair, everything's gonna be okay, Eri. Just tell me what's wrong, Eri said, sobbing. I don't like sleeping down here. It's scary and dark and it reminds me too much of my old home. Oh God, that is not good, Kirishima said. Deku shudder, not even wanting to imagine what her time with Overhaul. Deku said, if you want, you can sleep in my room. Eri eyes widen and said, are you sure? I don't want to be a burden. Deku said, hey, it's okay. I'll do anything for you. You know that, right? It's at this point Eri's eyes start to sparkle as her familiar adorable smile spreads across her face before she gives Deku a hug, which he happily returns. Eri snuggles up to Deku as they both rest on his bed, but Eri was still shaking. Eri, do you want me to sing you a lullaby? Wait, Deku is gonna sing, Jiro asked. Now you're surprised, Kaminari asked. Maybe because it came out of nowhere, Ida replied. Oh right, you, that makes sense, Kaminari said. Eri snuggles even close to Deku and nods. Deku, look to the stars, my darling baby girl. Life is strange and vast, filled with wonders and joys. Face each new sun with eyes clear and true, unafraid of the unknown, because I'll face it all with you. Look to the stars and gaze up at the moon. Even as these days pass, I'm always thinking of you. Face each new day and keep your hope alive. I promise I will be there soon. It won't be long till I'm with you. Everyone was surprised at Deku's sing voice. Deku, good night, Eri. Eri, smiling, good night, Daddy. All the grills said as the child falls asleep. Deku's eyes were wide as dinner plates. Deku, did she just call me her dad? All right, next universe is, oh this is a good one, Jack said. Why? Deku asked. Jack put his notes away, yelled, it's morphing time, and in Jack's place was a person dressed in red, and he pulled his helmet off to show Jack as the Red Ranger. Jack put his notes away, yelled, it's morphing time, and in Jack's place was a person dressed in red, and he pulled his helmet off to show Jack as the Red Ranger. Whoa, that's so cool, Eri said. Now then let's go, shall we? Jack said. The screen showed Deku, Todoroki, Bakugo, Uraraka, and so you get transport to the command center. Deku asked, why are we, so look like some sort of spaceship? Bakugo said, really? Well, there is no way I'm get probed. Then Zordon read and said, Rangers, who is that? Aizawa asked. Zordon of Elter, the mentor of the Power Rangers, Jack said. Wait, are you the one who transport us here? Deku asked. Zordon said, yes, and yes, you still on Earth because you have been chosen to be Power Rangers. Bakugo said, Power Rangers, 𝗬𝗧𝗏 said. You mean like superheroes? Yes, Zordon said. Now your morphers on the table. You know I have just released something. 𝗬𝗧𝗏 hero suit already looks like a Power Ranger, Jack said. Really, you think so? 𝗬𝗧𝗏 said. So you said, so how do we morph? Hold you morph to the sky and yelled the name of the hero it was based off. Only then will you morph, Zordon explained. Okay, now you must go. You is in trouble, Zordon said. We need to help them. Let's go. Deku said the word transport to you. And Deku said so. Let's try this out. Here it come, said Jack shaking with excitement. All Might, Deku yelled when it looked like this. Why does Deku get All Might? Bakugo yelled. Why does Deku get All Might? Bakugo yelled. Shoo, Jack said with a bag of popcorn. Endnver, Todoroki yelled. Mina said, why am I not surprised? Eraserhead, Bakugo yelled. One, Ryukyu, 𝗬𝗧𝗏 yelled. Gang Orca. Tsuyu yelled, and just like that look like mini version of the heroes. Now let's go, Deku yelled. Time skip. Kirishima just demorphed Oyov. His Fat Gum morph 3. So my morph is Fat Gum, Kirishima said. Well yeah, you were chosen by Rita Repulsa to become her evil Green Ranger, making him the first evil ranger in Power Ranger history. He was tasked with destroying the original team of Power Rangers and had nearly succeeded, although he was ultimately defeated and was released from Rita's control by the original Red Ranger having turned good. Kirishima helped the Rangers in defeating the forces of darkness and was made an official member of the team. In doing so, and Kirishima proved himself to be a worthy ally, Jack said, I don't know how to thank you for all you've done, so how about I join as the new Green Ranger? Kirishima said. Zordon said, okay. Kirishima, place green power coin in the morphing grid so you can control the power. Welcome to the team, Kirishima. Glad to have you as a ranger, Deku said. Jack said, alright, the next one. ISO God, this one just give my chills. Why what this one about? Deku asked. Every version of Deku every are about to fight the most evil Deku ever, Jack said with a serious tone to everyone. When Silent the Universe started and it showed medieval Deku, Space Warrior Deku, Vampire Killer Deku getting blown back by someone off screen into a bunch of other Dekus. Two Dekus was about to get up when it showed a god made of wings in a glowing orb in the middle. Whoa, is that a god? Mina said, I guess, and every version of Deku is going to fight it. 𝗬𝗧𝗏 said, doing Deku gestures. Wait, what does this have to do with this? World's Deku. Speaking of which, what is this Deku called? Bakugo asked. One-winged angel of darkness Deku, Jack said. An angel Deku was getting up, then the god was powering up, and a line when throughout shocking animal protect Deku, inkling Deku and gotta go fast Deku. Wait, what happened? All Might asked. The orb in the middle of the god turned black and split in two, and threatening music played, and first-class hero Deku said, it's him. Have they already met? Todoroki asked. So guess it up to me too. Bring everything home, I will show this world true despair, said one-winged angel of darkness Deku. I'm scared, 𝗬𝗧𝗏 said. The screen showed one-winged angel of darkness Deku making pick work of the other Dekus. One Bakugo said, the hell is his wing? One-winged angel of darkness Deku said, pathetic. Showing his black wing, the screen showed one-winged angel of darkness Deku making pick work of the other Dekus, again walking towards the screen while an explosion happened behind him. Two Deku sunk up behind it, but one-winged angel of darkness Deku knew and knocked them down with his sword. If he is really that powerful, why does he need a sword? Bakugo asked. Really, you asking that question, and not why he has one wing and how knew that Dekus were behind him? Kirishima asked. Then one-winged angel of darkness Deku rushed to the original Deku, and it looked like it stabbed him in the chest. Deku held his chest where it looked like he got stabbed, and 𝐒𝐻𝐢𝐵 and kota covered their eyes. Then it showed that one-winged angel of darkness Deku was holding the original Deku by his hood part. Oh, his hero costume. Everyone sigh in relief. It showed that he was not dead. First-class hero Deku rushed to one-winged angel of darkness Deku, and they clashed, and the to original Deku was throw when they clashed a second time because he was still hanging on the sword, and then started to sword fight, and first-class Deku started to glow with a blue 𝗬𝗢 and used a move called Omni-Slash, and his sword splitting into 5 swords he attacked, and then he land with other swords landing around him, and the 𝗬𝗢 disappearing as one-winged angel of darkness Deku landed and stagger like he was hurt. Die. Did he win? 𝗬𝗧𝗏 asked. Stay where you belong in my memories, first-class hero Deku said. I will never be a memory. One-winged angel of darkness Deku said, and he started to glow with a rainbow aura and transformed into a god, and he started to glow with a rainbow aura and Transformed into a god. Sorry, the biggest one I could find that would work, and the screen turn off and everyone sigh, and Jack said, and that is one we won't return to, plus note. Text. In story text Jack said, okay, next universes. Then a note fell out of Jack notes. Jack picked it up and said, I guess we could do this one. Okay, this one is romantic, Jack said. Mina said, I want to see it. As a hero I've had to endure a lot of hardships, Deku thought. But this is something I could never have fathomed. Deku continued to think, how on earth did this even happen? Deku thought as he and Tsuyu were sitting on a bench. Whoa, and Deku and Tsuyu on a date, Mirio asked. Looks like, Kirishima said. But how? Nijira asked. I can't believe all this happened just because Ishido said. Deku thought, think back to end of another day. Hey Midoriya, are you free tonight? Ishido asked. Hey, I set them up, Ishido said happily. Well, I guess I don't have any plans, Izuku said while taking notes. I'll take that as a yes, Ishido said. Ishido turned back and asked, how about you two? Yeah, I'm free, Tsuyu replied. Here it comes, Mina said, shaking excitedly. What is? Uraraka asked. Mina said, great, because I'm not have fun on your date. While Mina, I know people could do that, Tsuyu said. Well, I made it happen to you just now, Mina replied. Actually, this is not the original you, Kirishima interjected. I couldn't really process what had just happened, but Ishido had just set Azui and I up on a date, Deku said, narrating. Ishido, what did you just do? Deku yelled. What's look like, stud? I just hooked you up on a date. You're welcome, by the way. Ishido said. Why it's you? Kirishima asked. Yeah, like I thought you would set Tsuyu with Tokuyama or something, Siro said. Wait, why me? Tokuyama said. One. I can answer that, Jack said. For you see, penguins are birds that can swim, and since Tokuyama has a bird head and Tsuyu is part frog, they child with have a penguin's quirk because bird and frog equals penguins, Jack said. 13, I see, Tokuyama and Tsuyu said. Why thought I mean Azui is really nice and cool and stuff, but all of this is going so fast I wasn't even prepared for this, Deku mumbled. Oh come on, I've seen you naked, have a little confidence, Mina said. I'm sorry, what? Mina said. Is that true? Kirishima said, holding his laugh. No, Mina yelled. Wait, what was that last part? Deku asked. Yeah, we never spackled that hole in the locker room, Mina said. The screen show Mina naked, but all of a sudden Jack ran holding a censured bar over Mina's beast in front of the screen. One Mina was a little relieved that Jack rushed in to cover her chest. You're just as bad as Mineta, Deku said. Why does it have to be me who looks? Mineta said. We can hear you, Mineta. Jiro said. So, Momo replied. Relax, Midoriya, I'm the only one who uses it, Ishido said. So don't tell Momo, 𝐒𝐿. Why would Momo care? Tsuyu asked. I don't know, Jack said. I don't know even how to react to all of this. Suddenly Azui just became the least of my worries, Deku said. Jokes aside, I need you to go on this date, Ishido said. Why? Deku said. I don't know, Ida said. Ever since we were moved into the drums I can tell something has been bothering her, but she won't say anything, and you know how hard to read she can be, so the others don't suspect a thing, but I just this gut feeling something's off, Mina said. One. It sounds like you want me to spy on her, Deku said. He's not wrong, Kirishima said. No ya. 𝗬𝗏 reference you missing the point. Take her to a movie, go to karaoke, grab some dinner. Just show a good time, Mina sighed. What's with face, you have been on date before, right? Mina said. Haha, well the thing is, Deku said. 3, 2, 1, Jack said. Waha, are you serious? Not a single date, Mina said laughing. That's me, Mina, 𝐻𝗁𝗄 said. Yeah, I know, Mina said. Jack said. Well, in one universe you're friends with Bakugo and bully a girl with a cute voice and a wolf 𝗬𝗁𝗄𝐿, Jack said. Well, in one universe you're friends with Bakugo and bully a girl with a cute voice and a wolf 𝗬𝗁𝗄𝐿. What? Mina and Bakugo yelled. There is no way in hell that I'd be friends with Raccoon Eyes, Bakugo said, and there goes all the confidence I've ever had, Deku said. Well, I was quirkless before I started you. So most of the people at my school just used me as a punching bag, Deku said. Bakugo did have it out for during that first hero training class, Mina said. That is an understatement, Ida said. Bakugo just looked away with an angry face. Worry not, Midoriya, for I, Mina, Ishido have the perfect solution, Mina said. Tada, said Mina when she showed Toru. 𝗬𝗁𝗄𝗏, said Deku on and off screen. Hello, said Toru while giving a wave. While I give you help via comlink, Toru here is going to use her invisibility to make things as romantic as possible, said Mina. One 𝗬𝗁𝗄𝗏 said. You guys are look so cute together. By the way, here are you glasses, Mina said. I don't wear glasses, 𝐎𝐻𝐿𝐵 responded, you do for. This skit here, Mina said back. Deku thought, wait, aren't those 𝗕𝗗𝐻 glasses? Mina said in dramatic fashion, super spies led operation. Pep step begin. Wow, that was a manly way of saying it. Kirishima said, we're looking for mha-into-the-dekuverse. Random guy asked, second building, third door down. Deku said, thanks. Random guy said, 𝗕𝗁𝗄𝑟 and 𝗎𝗏𝗄 helped me get ready for the date with Azui. It felt weird going on a date with a classmate, but I was already this deep in, so I may as well see it to the end. Few hours later I went to go pick up Azui and well, Deku said, wow, Deku you look nervous. Azui said, well, this is my first date with you no less. Deku said, blushing one. Yeah. Azui said, also blushing. So are you ready to go ribbit? Azui said, wow Azui, I didn't know you had good fashion sense. 𝗬𝙢𝙢𝐢𝐾 said, yeah, we need some clothes you have. Mina said, and if we are allowed borrow some if we ever go on a date. 𝗕𝗁𝗄𝑟 said one. Holy carp, she's really cute. Deku thought. Pst Midoriya say something. Already? 𝗕𝗁𝗄𝑟 whisper, why look really nice. Deku yelled nervously, thanks you do too. Azui said. To be honest, I started to think this idea of 𝗎𝗏𝗧𝗏𝗏's could actually be fun, except 𝗕𝗁𝗄𝑟 somehow set the Kurako machine on 𝗓𝗏𝗧𝗏𝗏's snutch in and disguised herself as a waiter, which didn't end any better, and finally the two somehow managed to buy every ticket for all the films but one overly cliché romantic comedy end that brings us to this very moment, this incredibly awkward and tense moment. Deku said, you ruined Deku's date. Bakugo laugh. Okay, I had enough of you. Jack said, suddenly a portal opened and my brother came out and said, give this to Mina and 𝗕𝗁𝗄𝑟, and then left with me just standing there. Suddenly a portal opened and my brother came out and said, give this to Mina and 𝗕𝗁𝗄𝑟, and then left with me just standing there. Okay. Jack said, unsure. Wait, to say I gave Mina and 𝗕𝗁𝗄𝑟 a note to say you need a permit to help on a date. One. 𝗕𝗁𝗄𝑟 𝗎𝗏𝗄, you guys gotta help me. Deku yelled in his head. I'm sorry about everything, I know I'm not all that fun to hang out with. Azui said, sorry about Azui, all that stuff before were just freak accidents, well, except for the movie. Feel like I was partly to blame for that one. Deku said. One. Azui was silent. I don't like it when some goes silent. Kirishima said. Azui. Deku said, I've never seen her so emotional. Deku thought. He has a point. Mina said, Midoriya, do you believe in fairy tales? Azui said, huh? Midoriya said, well, I mean, did you ever hear a fairy tale you liked so much you wanted it to be real? Azui said, well, my mum used to read me All Might comics when I was little. Deku said, and then All Might beat up all the bad guys. The end. Inko said, yay, All Might, said small b. Deku, I regret typing that, I'm sorry. Ah, so cute. All the girls said, ah, good time, said Inko, not entirely what I was talking about, but let's roll with it. Azui thought. My parents would usually read me a bedtime story. Do you know the one about how the princess kisses a frog and it becomes a prince? Azui said, more or less. Deku said, who doesn't at this point? It's the multiverse most popular fairy tale. Jack said too. It was kind of like that, but with a bit of their own special touch. Azui said, oh, story time. Jack said, once upon a time there was a princess. Although she was loved by her kingdom, she lacked the confidence to lead. The princess had a terrible curse that transformed her into a frog should her spirit waver. Azui said, sounds like they changed more than just a bit of this. Deku said, one day bandits came and began burning her kingdom to the ground. The princess knew she had to help her people and chose to fight off the bandits, but despite her brave actions her heart still wavered and she began to change. The bandits laughed, calling her a freak, a monster, but the princess refused to give up, not while her people were in danger. Whether woman or beast, I will protect the one I love. Weak AMD injured. The bandit readied himself to end it, but one hero refused to let that happen. Azui said, I'm sorry princess, I should have been here sooner. Our people safe now because you stood your ground. Now it is our turn, so stand up with you head held high, slouch in no pose for a hero. The hero prince said, this feels like it has more tam, just a few unu-tounches to it. Deku said, my mum is a very creative person. Azui said, with the kingdom united the bandits were defeated. Azui said, princess, we have won, yet your soul still wavers. The hero prince said, actually I think my soul is at ease. I had always believed this form to be a curse, a true form of cowardice, yet even fear. Did you not cloud my need to protect my people? It's thanks to you, hero, that I can see who I really am, what I am really meant to do with this power. I will use this power that I shunned for so long and find a way to help my people with it. Power of this frog is not a curse but a blessing. I shall call this new form. The princess said, Frappy. 𝐎𝐻𝐸 said, so that's your hero name came from Deku said. Do you remember the first thing I said to you on the bus trip to the USD? Oh, Deku said flashback. Your quirk resembles All Might's, 𝐻𝐸 said flashback, and the truth is that when I first saw All Might I thought he was the hero from my story, 𝐻𝐸 said, but then I met you and suddenly everything seemed different. Deep down I thought to myself that maybe you were my hero, 𝐻𝐸 said. 𝐻𝐸, Deku said, oh my god, did she just confess? 𝗧𝗪𝗄 said. 𝗓𝗏𝗄 responded, sure, this is the good part. At least that's what I thought, 𝐻𝐸 said. Huh? Deku said, no take-backs, 𝗏𝗏 thought. Once I got into you, I began to see what it really means to be a hero, 𝐻𝐸 said. People who are willing to do whatever it takes to save others even at the cost of their lives, but whenever you get injured I can feel my heart break. It hurts so much to think about losing you, but what hurts the most is how you die happy if it meant you just saved one person, 𝐻𝐸 said while crying. Deku looked at his injured hand. So you look at me, Deku said. Huh? 𝐻𝐸 said as she looked at Deku. Midoriya? 𝐻𝐸 thought as Deku moved closer, then their lips touched. Oh my god, that kissed. Inko said. Whoa. Ida said, cool. Kaminari said, so cute. Eri said, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Mina and 𝗧𝗪𝗄 thought while hug each other, jumping with joy. When someone is in trouble, save them with a smile. That's the kind of hero I promised myself I'd become. So if me dying would cause you so much pain, then I promise I won't die. Deku said, that's so romantic. Mina said, you really mean it? You promise me you won't die? That kind of dumb? 𝐻𝐸 said, dang it, she totally killed the mood. Mina and 𝗧𝗪𝗄 thought angrily, but stuff like that's why I fell in love with you, Izuku. 𝗬𝗠 said. Ribbit? 𝗬𝗠 said confused. Love, she said. Love? Oh man, I don't really know how to handle this. I mean, I really like her too, but I wasn't mentally prepared for that. What should I say? Is it too early to say I love her too? Is that make things wired? But I have to say something. Deku mumble. Izuku, you're rambling again, 𝗬𝗠 said. An error has occurred with Izuku. Midoriya. Dex, the Cooter voice said. Whoops, maybe telling him was a bit much. 𝗬𝗠 said. Ribbit? 𝗬𝗠 sighed. Come on hero, let's get you back home. 𝗬𝗠 said. Put Izuku up. Yahoo operation. Team Green is a success, Mina said. Hold on, what's with the name change? Kirishima said. Wait, I thought it was called Pep Step. 𝗧𝗪𝗄 asked. I just asked about that, Kirishima said. By the way, shouldn't we help? It seems pretty rude to make carry Midoriya back all by herself. 𝗧𝗪𝗄 asked. She'll be fine, she's stronger than Luke's. Besides, I don't think I've seen Tsuyu happier. The end to a better love story than Twilight Side. World of Love is a good place, Jack said. Plus, are you in a relationship, Jack? All Might asked. Yes, are very hard one, but that's Might thought when you girlfriend is by nothing augustant bisexuals and the nice princess from hell. Jack said. This is in the story. In real life I'm still single. 3. Yeah, that does sound like a hard relationship. Mirio said. All right, everyone follow me, Jack said. And every found a giant cafe with a garden? All right, everyone follow me, Jack said. And every found a giant cafe with a garden. Is that a painting? Mina asked. No, of course not. This is my world after all. I thought I'll make a bit more lively, Jack said. Let me check the guest list, Jack said. Oh my, 2 people are missing. I wonder who they could be, Jack said sarcastically while everyone sweat dropped. I know what to do, Jack said as he snapped his fingers and 2 portals opened and out stepped 2 people. One was dressed in a Japan schoolgirl uniform wearing a Aziawa scarf with a pair of glasses, and the other one was pale with rosy cheek, pale blonde hair, and wore a suit with a red blazer and bow tie. Why hello young lady, Jack said. You are such a gentleman. Nice to meet you. My name is Toga. Toga said normally, which supreed everyone, Jack, yelled the pale girl with blonde hair and rosy cheeks as she hugged Jack and said, I missed you. Jack hugged back and said, I missed you too. Crayley, who are you two? Deku asked. Oh, everyone. This Toga for another universe, Jack said. Hello, it very nice to meet all my friends for another universe, Toga said bowing. And this darling here is my girlfriend Charlie, Jack said. Hi there, Charlie said. Wow, you pretty. Mina said. What is your job and where are you from? Momo asked. I own a hotel and I'm the princess of hell, Charlie said. Nevers to Todoroki asked. How you're too nice to be from hell? Well, because I was born there, Charlie said. Deku said. That make a lot of sense, but if you're the princess of hell, you, the child of Satan, is you're his child. That I thought you would have a more demonic from, but you don't, which means that Satan has a humanoid from. Deku went on to a mumbling fit. Everyone just looked at Deku. Is he always like that? Charlie asked, and Jack replied. Yes, he always like that. Didn't I tell you that already? Charlie replied with a giggle and said, oh yeah, I remember you said something like that. Anyways, eat up, there's a buffet over there, said Jack as he pointed to a buffet that was on the other side of the cafeteria. They all grabbed trays and got in line. There was tons of different kinds of food there, from American to Japanese, there was all sorts. Once they got their food, they sat at different tables. Class 1A all sat in booths. The Deku squad and Jack sat at one booth, the Baku squad sat at another, and the rest of the students and teachers sat at various booths and tables. Izuku, Ochako, and the others were still processing the information from the universes, until Bakugo broke the silence and grabbed Jack by the collar. You still never explained why Deku's the #1 hero and not me, yelled Bakugo, but suddenly Charlie grabbed Bakugo's arm and said in her demon form in an ice-cold tone in her voice, you hurt a single hair on my Jack's head. I'll make sure you get sent though. Hell, Jack said. Calm down, Charlie. Oh, and thanks for politely reminding me, Bakugo, said Jack happily. When I said that My Hero Academia is a show that focuses on Izuku's rise to becoming a hero, I meant his rise to becoming the world's greatest hero, said Jack as he broke free from Bakugo's grasp. There was a collective gasp in the room. Now are there any other question you guys have? Asked Jack, and almost everyone raised their hands. All right, let's get this over with, Jack said. I have a question. Why were Deku and Ochako my parents in that second universe we saw? Asked Eri. Well, Eri, in a lot of universes I've seen Izuku and Ochako adopt you. It's not always them who adopts you though. In some universes it's Aziawa, in some universes it's Mirio, but in most universes I've seen it's Izuku and Ochako, said Jack. I have a question. When you said that there were people who shipped Midoriya and Uraraka with other people in your universe, does that mean they're with those people in other universes? Asked Mina. Well, of course. I mean, the multiverse has an infinite amount of possibilities. There's a world for every possibility, including ones where Izuku and Ochako hook up with other people, said Jack. We're not going to be seeing those universes, are we? Asked Mina. I hope you don't, Toga said. No, of course not. I'm a shipper, but I forces on one that are cute or make sense, said Jack. I also have a question. When I said that Midoriya's All Might's secret love child, you said he wasn't. How do you know that? Asked Todoroki. Because I know everything. Plus, just because their quirks are similar doesn't mean they're related, alright, said Jack. But you said that the multiverse has an infinite amount of possibilities, right? So there are universes where they are related, said Todoroki. Of course there are, but those universes are not the best for Deku. Like at all, he suffer neglect and abuse from his family and friends and even his own sister in these universes. Jack said everyone was shocked to say the least. But there are universes where other people are related too, said Jack. Jack said, it's about time for the next universe Ivory one back into the theater. Jack said, okay, this one is little wired and short, but I got one thing to say, take notes. Jack said everyone got a notepad and pen as the universe started. Oh yes. Yes, yes, yes. Uraraka said happily. How is the universe wired? Deku asked. Just watch, Jack said. But I should be resting, it's close to term, Uraraka said crying. Whoa, talk about a mood swing, Kirishima said. You could say that again, Mina said. I'm just so drained, I'm not sure I know I should boo it. Uraraka said tired. She sound more tired than me, said Aizawa. You know what, just go and leave me, yelled Uraraka. Sono to grocery shopping with me, you got it? Deku said scared. Poor Hagakura said. Uraraka growled. Uraraka, please, it's only... Deku said more scared. You say 2 more months one more time and I'll throw you through the ceiling, Uraraka said with a menacing aura. Geez, I know she had mood swings, but his way too far, Kirishima said. Ooka. Deku said, shut up, Uraraka said menacingly. Deku whimpered, see cookies. Uraraka said menacingly, now, I feel really sorry for this universe Deku right now, Momo said. Time skip. Deku was in Bakugo's house, shaking in one of his chair with Bakugo look at him. Bakugo said, why is Deku at my house? Kirishima said, Baku bro, stay calm, can't you see Deku is scared? From what his wife, Bakugo replied. Jack started to the Wellerman nervously. Don't you think you're overreacting? Kaken said. Deku was still shaking. It just round face, I can't think her mood is that bad. Kaken said, see this universe me thinks the same. Kaken said. Jack started to Durkin sailor fast nervously. That is not Uraraka, you have no idea what I've been through. What I've done, Deku said. Bakugo sigh. Don't judge me, Kaken, Deku whispered. Geez, did you kill someone? Kaken thought, but 𝗂𝐬𝗁 then said, should I even ask? And here come the past verbal pain. Jack said, okay, so 𝗬𝗵𝗲 has been up until last month. Her mood swings give me whiplash. She's super 𝐒𝐻𝗫𝗍 and God forbid we don't have her snacks or food. Deku said. Everyone was just shocked. That's not too bad, Deku, but 𝗂𝐬𝗁 said, okay, is this mha-into-the-dekuverse or 𝗬𝗏, because how could he not thinks it that not too bad, but 𝗂𝐬𝗁 said, that only half of it. Let's just say that my hips are still on fire. Deku said, okay, now that is too far. Mina said, you complang about that and be Mr. Lattice man, but 𝗂𝐬𝗁 said, you forgot to say Deku is way cooler in this and 𝗂𝐬𝗁 is a lot calmer. Jack said, Kaken. Deku yelled, men aren't built that way, Kaken. Deku said, Deku, but 𝗂𝐬𝗁 said, there is no sleep, just friction. Deku said, you stop it, but 𝗂𝐬𝗁 said, then don't let her find me. I need to. Deku said, get your finger out of my face, but 𝗂𝐬𝗁 said. Deku replied by just saying, no. Then the door got kicked open, surprising 𝗂𝐬𝗁 and scaring Deku to show a very angry Uraraka and said, but 𝗂𝐬𝗁 kakatsi, Deku, where? Hey, round face, he's behind the chair, he look love. But 𝗂𝐬𝗁 said, scared. Stuff it. Uraraka said, energizedly. Got it. But 𝗂𝐬𝗁 said, shooting up. Deku now. Uraraka said, see coming. Deku said, good luck, nerd. But 𝗂𝐬𝗁 𝗧𝗏, Kaken you traitor. Deku 𝗧𝗏. And that's the end of that. Jack said. Eri asked, are Deku and 𝗂𝗁 okay? In the universe, yeah, in real life way better. Jack said. 𝗂𝗁 said, that is understatement after this universe. Alright, next universe ISO, this is a good one. Jack said, why is that? Tsuyu asked. Well, this universe is based off a hero called Spider-Man. Jack said. 𝗂𝗁 said, haha, Spider-Man, what kinda lame name is that? Well, Spider-Man is not lame because all his enhanced strength, speed, agility, and reflexes, and this universe he is Deku, while 𝗂𝗁 is an anti-hero/assassin named Deadpool. Everyone look at Deku and 𝗂𝗁 and thought about what I said back in Universe 11. If you need a reminder, Jack said, Deku and 𝗂𝗁 two side of the same coin. Anyway, onward with the universe. Jack said. Izuku said, you look really pretty. Uraraka asked, and therefore, I have value. 1? Was that a joke? Kirishima asked, are asking because it was bad or makes no sense? Kaminari asked, both. Kirishima said. Izuku said, no, that's not what I meant at all. I was just. Uraraka said, I'm messing with you. Izuku and Uraraka both share a chuckle. Uraraka said, thank you. Izuku replied, you're welcome. Uraraka said, you look pretty too. Izuku said, thank you, that really cute together. Mina said. Time skip. Izuku said, Uraraka. Uraraka said, hey. Hey. Uraraka runs toward Izuku and throws the morning star to the side and embraces Izuku. Izuku said, hey. Uraraka asked, are you okay? Izuku asked, I'm okay. Are you okay? Uraraka answered, yeah. Yeah. Izuku asked, is everybody else okay? Uraraka said, yeah, everyone's okay. Izuku asked, what happened? Uraraka said, there was just the drones and they were following us, and then they just stopped. Was that you? Izuku said, yeah, they stopped hugging. Uraraka asked, did you get him? Izuku nods. Yeah. Uraraka said, well, I brought that, pointing at the morning star, in case you needed some help. Anyway, there was this sweaty guy in the tower with us. I think he works for you or something. He gave me this. Uraraka pulls out of her pocket the black dahlia necklace, but it's broken. Izuku is distraught at the state of the necklace. Izuku said, no. Oh, Uraraka, I'm so sorry. I had this plan, this stupid plan, and I wrote it all down. I was gonna buy you this and give it to you in Paris at the top dash. Uraraka kisses Izuku on the lips. Izuku is very confused. Uraraka smiles. Uraraka and Izuku blushed. Izuku said, and you kissed me? Uraraka said, I don't really have much luck when it comes to getting close to people. So I lied. I wasn't just watching you, 'cause I thought you were Spider-Man. Izuku said, that's great. Uraraka smiles. Izuku said, I really like you. Uraraka replied, I really like you too. Izuku and Uraraka kiss once briefly. The music swells and they go in for a more prolonged kiss. They kissed. Meina and Hagokura said. Uraraka and Izuku blushed harder. Uraraka said, chuckling, I should probably get back to the class. Izuku said, I'll go in. Yeah. I don't know. Uraraka said, okay. Uraraka picks up the morning star. Uraraka said, just in case. So how was the last universe? Jack asked. Mina said, really cute. Good. Anyway, next is a universe where Deku is a great detective named 𝗧𝗂𝘁𝗵𝗲, but right now we see his detective skills in a boxing match. Jack said Deku was sitting at table beginning to eat a roast dinner when it show him get pushed into a part of a ring shirtless and sweating. Every girl got nosebleeds after 𝗧𝗂𝘁𝗵𝗲 chest. Oh. Got him, give me a minute. Jack said try to stop the girl's nosebleed while the rest look at the screen and saw 𝗧𝗂𝘁𝗵𝗲 fight really well. Kirishima was amazed and said, man, 𝗧𝗂𝘁𝗵𝗲 can really hold his own. All Might was beaming with pride to see how 𝗧𝗂𝘁𝗵𝗲 was fighting. 𝗧𝗂𝘁𝗵𝗲 opponent got a lucky jab on 𝗧𝗂𝘁𝗵𝗲 and started to get knocked down, then some gave him a drink of water and he moved his opponent into the wall. He was at, wow, that was amazing. Eri and Kota said, he just moved his hand in such a way that his opponent clumsily ran into a wall. Kota said to Eri, while Eri just nodded. His opponent got mad and they start going back and forth with each other. Then his opponent just pooched him in the face, knock him down and start to bleed out the side of his mouth. In the audience of the fight he see Momo dress a fancy and hid in her face with a hat. Alright, that's it big man, we done, you win, congratulations, said 𝗧𝗂𝘁𝗵𝗲 walking away. Kirishima said, I guess he had a feeling wasn't going to win, so he said. His opponent won. Jack said, that is what you would call a horrible warrior of fighter. Oi, we ain't done yet. When he spat at the back at 𝗕𝗂𝘁𝗵𝗲, everyone said, this mustn't register on an emotional level. First, distract target, then block his blind jab counter with cross to left cheek. Discombobulate. Dazed, will attempt wild haymaker. Employ elbow block and body shot. Block Pharaoh left, weaken right jaw, now fracture. Break cracked ribs. Traumatize solar plexus, dislocate jaw entirely. Heel kick to diaphragm. In summary, ears ringing, jaw fractured, 3 ribs cracked, for broken, diaphragm hemorrhaging. Physical recovery, 6 weeks. Full psychological recovery, 6 months. Capacity to spit at back of head neutralized, said 𝗧𝗂𝘁𝗵𝗲. Then 𝗧𝗂𝘁𝗵𝗲 beat his opponent in fast motion. Wait, what just happened? Momo asked. 𝗧𝗂𝘁𝗵𝗲 planned out everything then just went ahead and did it. Jack said. Someone in the audience said, where did that come from? He has a point, where did that come from? Bakugo grumbled. One, sorry for any misspellings, I'm really tired for some reason.